Old Wakey is straight into the fence, and Stickers might take advantage here. There's damage on Old Wakey's car.
What is he doing? Oh boy! Oh, big crash. Huge crash. Glasses into him. Glasses into him.
Less than a second away from the podium.
It's not over till it's over.
Get the drive. Who's it gonna be? There's the drive. Oh my god! He gets it. Does he get him? He goes into the lead. Oh my god! Oh, that is absolutely incredible.
Oh boy.
He's too deep.
Oh, he's in him. Oh, it's drama. Drama. He's gone for a move very opportunistic. Oh, that came out of nowhere from Morgan Davis.
The battle back for second is an absolute hot rocket. Oh, there's a big tap from Racebeard. The Wakey Racebeard's to the wall. But he's recovered straight away. That bud was so lucky. We'll get a quick...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Sector 1. We come to you tonight, we cross the Pacific Ocean and find ourselves in Japan for live coverage of Round 3 of the Sector 1 Supercars Championship here at Autopolis. Our Division 3 and Division 1 drivers navigate this 4.7 kilometre circuit tonight, including 19 corners of high speed, low speed and tricky sections. It's a wonderful piece of tarmac, and we find ourselves tonight the venue of our two races. So wet weather is on the horizon for tonight, so stay tuned for that. Could be an interesting 50 minutes for our drivers. My name is Lenocis, and joining me in the commentary box tonight are your two race directors, Cruzin and Good Dog. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Very well, thank you.
That's good. And the two races tonight are the Division 3 races and the Division 1 race. So tonight we have the 50-minute race, which follows directly after the 15-minute qualifying. And the dry compounds tonight, as with the rest of the season, is the softs. And of course we have wet weather tonight, so the inters and wet tyres are up for use if the lobby decides that that is the way we want to go. So stay tuned, everybody, as qualifying for Division 3 is about to get underway. Do we have an ETA on that, Cruzin? As Cruzin is our Division 3 race director for tonight.
Yeah, I'm good to go when we looks like we might have a bit of a shorter grid tonight, but
Alright, that's fine. I'm sure we won't be short on any action, but just before we head into qualifying, we'll just have a look at the points and standings for Division 3 as they shape up coming into this Round 3 fixture. So the results from Trial Mountain last time out, Dadson on pole position. He came home with the win, converted it to a first place. S-Mid with the fastest lap in P2, Prua in P3, Grassy's P4, Gurr P5, Daz P6, VF P7, Stranger P8, Killer P9, Benia P10, and Filthy P11 rounding out the back. And we'll have a look at the standings for Division 3 as they shape up after round 2. So Dadson taking home a double back-to-back win for Dadson Racing. And he finds himself on 63 points at the top of the table. Stranger in P2, Graham in 3rd, 4th is Grassy's, 5th S-Mid, 6th is Daz, 7th Killer on the Loose, 8th VF, 9th Filthy, 10th Benia, And 11 and 12th is Prua and Carbon Boy rounding out the back with Session Motorsport. They have missed the first, or they have missed one of the rounds so far, so that's why they're at the bottom. But yeah, looking forward to the race tonight. It's a very tight division, this Division 3 pack, so looking forward to everything that it offers, even if the grid might be a little bit short. Yeah, we're missing quite a few people, 5 people. We're missing Carbon Boy. It looks like we're missing VF. Who else? S-Mid's gone.
VF's on the grid.
Oh yeah, I'm just blind, sorry. And yeah, I'm not too sure who else is missing, but
I believe Carbon Boy might be away.
yeah, he's on holiday at the moment, I believe, and I can't recognize any other names that are immediately missing. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but we'll have to roll with it as it is now. So qualifying should be getting underway in a minute or so. 7 o'clock is the traditional start time for the Division 3 qualifying. It's 15-minute qualifying followed by a 50-minute race. An admin decision has been made regarding the formation lap, and unfortunately we will not be having that formation lap tonight. It'll just be a in-game rolling start, which isn't ideal, but due to glitches and whatnot, and the procedure not working as intended, we're going to be having just a regular rolling start for tonight's races. But yeah, so qualifying should be getting underway any second now. Is that correct, Cruzin?
Yes.
Yes.
Just doing a restart. Oh.
And it looks like
Go.
qualifying has started. And first to come out of the pit lane is, sorry, that's my error on stream, but first to come out of the pits is Gur. Oh no, they need to go through the first sector. My timing screen is a little bit bugged up at the moment, which makes it a little bit inconvenient.
So we've got Dadson out on track first in the beautiful backers, black and gold Aston Martin.
Yeah,
Man to watch, the man to beat.
yeah, on top of the table at the moment. Could he make it 3 in a row? Some are saying that he's the $5 favourite tonight. Absolutely on fire in the first 2 races. He's wingman Gur in the Dadson Gold Bacchus cars. They're looking absolutely incredible. So very interesting to see where he ends up tonight. Can he keep his streak alive? That's the big question. And followed behind him is Prua for Obsession Motorsport in that Gallagher Insurance blue Mercedes. The Mercedes are very quick around Autopolis. They're not very quick in a straight line, but those tight and technical sections of track really suit the car. And I've seen a few quick times from a couple of Mercedes. So we'll have to wait and see where Prua ends up. The other Mercedes tonight is Grassis in the Fanatec Lucky's Lawn Care Racing Mercedes. Grassis, he went different from the rest of his the Lucky's Lawn Care, they sort of they didn't really agree on a car. You have lots of drivers all in different cars. For example, Nux in the Aston and Lucky himself in the Viper, but Grassy's gone the Mercedes as he starts his first flying lap. And it looks like it's settling out now. So Dadson leads the pack, coming through turn 5 at the moment. Prua right behind him. Gur in third in the other Dadson. Stranger for Doghouse, and it looks like we have an issue on my end. Stranger is invisible, but that should sort itself out after the first pit stop, if we're lucky. And behind him is Daz in the Deeds entry. Killer on the Loose in the Green Beacon Red Mist Viper. Looking very fancy, those white and colourful accents. And Gracias in Fanatec Mercedes. Banier X for Ascension Racing in his Aston Martin. And VF in 9th currently. In the Racing Cars Like Legends. He is Racing Cars Like Legends, isn't he, with you Cruzin, right?
Yes, he is.
Yep.
I think we've got a few Vipers over in that crowd, so...
Yeah. And isn't D-Flow in the Mercedes?
Yes. Yes. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a handful. The big American Viper around this nice
Yeah, exactly. That seemed to be the consensus with the 2 American cars. As Dadson crosses the line, the 148.2, the first one. Prua, 2 tenths behind him. Guru next across the line, goes 3rd, 6 tenths off the lead. Stranger goes 3rd ahead of Guru. Daz goes to the top of the times, only just by 9 thousandths of a second. And Killer even quicker. Killer pops him by 300ths of a second next across the line. Gracies goes 6th. Benia next pops himself into 7th. And VF rounding the final corner now. What time is it going to be for him? This is looking very pacey as he rounds the final corner. This could be somewhere at the pointy end of the table as he crosses the line. Unfortunately not. 49.1 for VF. And Killer on provisional pole at the moment. He's doing a great job in that red mist, green beacon red mist. Sorry, that's a bit of a mouthful for me. Finds himself on provisional pole. Daz in P2, Dadson P3, the current championship leader. Prua P4, Stranger in 5th.
We're just saying how much of a handful the Viper is, and Killer just goes and puts it on pole.
Exactly, yeah.
Pole.
Yeah, the Viper seems like it's a pretty handy car. It has the straight line speed as well. Killer goes, oh, it looked like he was going to go off the track then, but he holds onto it for now. But yeah, as I was saying, the Viper, it's got straight line speed and it seems to be handling decently through this technical section of track as he puts himself on provisional pole. It is going to be Dadson coming through the final corner now. He's going to set another time and he's way down. Prua comes in. Yeah, Prua comes in. And it looked like Daz crosses the line, so a few of the drivers going around again. Prua's still the only car to pit at the moment. As we see, yeah, Grass is going around again. And Benia. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Oh, Grass is improved marginally. It didn't put him anywhere. And Stranger improved by quite a large margin, actually. Puts himself into 4th position, just behind Datsun. Only 200ths of a second behind Datsun, actually. As we see Datsun's...
So the top 6, it's anybody's game, pretty much 1 to 6, less than 100 of a second.
Yeah, this is a very, very tight pack, this Division 3. Lots of close competition. We saw it in the first 2 races. Absolutely phenomenal racing from these guys. Great entertainment. As Datsun comes down into the final sector now, I think we might just ride on board with Datsun as he completes his current qualifying lap. Or he might be pitting this lap, actually. I would imagine he would be pitting. Yeah, as by the timing screen, it doesn't look like he's on a real good lap, but as he rounds the final corner, as he enters the final sequence of corners, yeah, he's way off the time. I would imagine he'd pit this lap. We might go around again. There's 8.5 minutes left on the clock as he darts into the pits. As we see Daz coming in as well. Oop, and S-Mid has joined the lobby late, so he's not going to have the greatest jump on this qualifying session as Killer comes in as well. And it's Datsun coming out of the pits. Stranger. Sorry, I just got a little bit lost there. But Dadson comes out of the pits. And still very tight between these top four. Only 0.06 of a second between the top four. Then Prue a little bit further down. Just a 1.7 tenths behind Stranger in 5th position. And of course Grassis in P6. Currently with a time of a 48.5. So he's actually gone around again here. Improved his time by a single 1,000th of a second. A single millisecond. Talk about consistency from Grassis. And I've seen him over the past few days, and he is not lacking in pace at all. So I fully expect him to improve his lap time, as I imagine he'll be pitting this lap. As Benia picks up a 3-second penalty, which is not ideal for his race. I mean, not race for his qualifying. As S-Mid is on track. All the other cars, they have about 70% fuel, is that right, Cruzin? Or how much fuel does everyone else roughly have on board?
Yeah, it's about, we're looking at about 3/4 of a tank between a lot of people.
Yep, and S-Mid, he's just joined the lobby late. He's lost about 7 minutes on the rest of the guys, so all of qualifying times that he puts in.
Still got time, so I think we'll just let him see. I'm sure he can get a 1 or 2 laps in.
Yeah, for sure. He'll definitely be setting a lap time, but whether it's competitive or not, that's another question. He was second last time out. Let's see what he can do this time. Might just ride on board with him now as he comes to cross the line to start his first lap. As he dives down the straight up into 6th gear now, braking about that 100-meter board, and gets up on that curb, and very close to going off, but he holds it for now. Let's see what his Sector 1 split is as he comes through. The game isn't going to tell us his split so far, but all sorts of sideways from S-Mid, and very offline, but as he comes through the hairpin now.
Just waiting to see Dadson's split. He's up. He's not purple, but he's up.
Could Dadson go another pole position?
It's enough, I think. The way he's up, it could be. Definitely gain some position. So that's nice this is.
As S-Mid comes into the 2nd hairpin now, down into first gear to get the rotation. Gets on the power as early as possible, and stomps on the accelerator as he comes down into the sweeper. And this corner now, it's a 3rd gear. It really hurts your front tyres, but he seems to have held it well. Sticks it in 3rd gear as he comes around into the last sector.
Close.
Yeah, this time on the timing screen it's looking alright.
47.6, but it back is Aston Martin.
He goes onto provisional pole. Dadson with an absolutely incredible time as we see S-Mid come across the line now. What's it going to be? It's a 48.9. So not the best from S-Mid, but I'm sure he'll improve that. As we see Dadson with an absolutely blistering time. I've been talking to Dadson throughout the week, and I think he's been sandbagging the entire time. Oh wow, that is a great time from Dadson. As Daz in P2 now. He is up on his time as he comes through the 1st sector. And just 3 minutes remain in this qualifying session. So not long now. As Daz, he did improve on his last lap by 2 tenths, which puts him 4.5 tenths behind Dadson in P1 and Killer in P3. So Killer, who is sorry?
Stranger. He's only a little bit down off the... Oh no, he's dropped a bit now, I think.
Ooh, these guys are gonna get. They're gonna have enough time to get in 1 or 2 more laps. Or maybe 1 more. Yeah, it's a bit ambitious to get 2 laps now with such a short amount of time on the clock, but Stranger very
My
slow.
timer going.
Very slow as he comes through the last sequence of corners. And Prua and I believe that is Gur is behind them as well. Yes, it's Dadson pits in his golden Aston. And Stranger, he does improve, but it's not quick enough to him. Oh wait, yeah, it was. He was in 4th and now he's in 3rd. As he's... Oh, and Daz! Oh, Daz! He's on provisional pole by 9,000ths of a second. Grassies! Oh my! Grassies with an absolute ripper of a lap. 47.2. Grassies absolutely blown everyone out of the water by 4/10, and that's Killer off in the background at turn 1. Oh, that's the end of his qualifying, but Grassies absolutely incredible lap. Daz in P2 overtook Dadson by 9,000ths of a second.
The big AMG does seem to be the hot package.
Yeah, Daz also in the AMG. Sorry, I missed that earlier, but yeah, so we have Grassies, Daz and Prua in the AMGs. And at the moment, it's a Mercedes 1-2. From Grassies in the Lucky's Lawn Care Fanatec car and Daz in the Deeds Racing.
1 minute.
And qualifying almost done. These guys, they might get one more lap actually. Stranger, but I would imagine he would pit this lap. He's, oh no, this is his 2nd flyer. So he might go around again if he gets it done. It's going to be tight whether he gets across the line. As he's got 10 seconds to cross the line now. But no, he's not going to make it. He's going to be short as he rounds the final corner. Yeah, that's the end of qualifying for these 3: Stranger, Prua, and Gur. So it's a little bit deceptive, the actual stream qualifying timer. Sorry to our viewers, but it's only a rough estimate, that timer. It's not actually linked to the game in any way, so we'll keep you up to date if there was anything when the session actually finished and stuff. So it looks like Stranger, I'm not sure, I think these guys are going for another lap.
Well,
yeah.
They can't. Wally's over. I've cornered. 15 minutes is up.
And they didn't make the line either. So who's the last person on a lap now? And it's a VF as he crosses the line. And he doesn't improve on his last time. So we'll run through the grid real quick. It's Grassies on pole position, Daz in P2, Dadson 3rd, Stranger 4th, Killer 5th, Benny 6th, Gur 7th, Prua 8th, Smitty 9th, and VF in 10th position. So it's shaping up to be a good race so far. The Mercedes seem to be very strong around here, as it looks like the race is starting. So it's just a what's it called? A rolling start using the game, but as
Gran Turismo rolling start.
and we are green flag racing as we start now. Oh, and the game has done this glitch, but it looks like we are on board. We'll have a look on with Benia as he heads down towards turn 1, and I don't see any moves up front. Oh, as Grassies holds it behind Daz, behind Dadson, behind Daz and Stranger, and everyone. It looks like everyone has got through cleanly for the most part. So we'll just switch back now. Won't be a second. We just gotta change this so that we can actually see what's going on. This is a glitch that happens with Gran Turismo at the moment, but hopefully we don't miss any action. Doesn't look like we have, but as we come around now, green flag the current session, and as they come into turn 11 now, Grassy's ahead of Dadson. He's made his way in front of Daz now, and Stranger in fourth, Killer in fifth. Oh, Benny are very wide, so's Gur in the background there, but everyone's fine for now. Prua's made up a position. Gur's tumbled down the order. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Maybe it was at turn 11, but Grassy's holds on to the lead for now. So, as he comes into the final sector.
The Grassy's be looking to really extend his lead in the opening stint, I would imagine, to try to break that slipstream from the Aston.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to do in the Mercedes, as you want to get ahead early, as the straight line speed isn't too good, so you don't really want to be caught up behind, like within a faster car in a straight line. So the Mercedes, it really pushes in the technical and handling sections. So it's great on handling, great on tires, great on fuel. So you just need to get ahead and hope that you're far enough ahead by the pit stop that you can hold on to it in the second stint. It's not the kind of car that likes to sit behind, as we see Datsun just maintaining about a second gap for the moment to Grassy's in front. And we see Daz in third. He's coming under pressure from Stranger at the moment. As we see Prua very wide in the background, but he holds on to it, luckily. And it seems like this, it's a very tight pack all up and down the field so far, as we see S-Mid look to try and get a switchback on Benia there, but was unable to pull that off, as we look up the top to Grassy's once again, and he holds the lead of this race. 1.3 seconds back to Dadson for the moment, as they come through the final sector now. And I think we might just do a run through the pack real quickly. So Grassy's in first, Dadson second, Daz third, Stranger fourth, Killer fifth, Prua sixth. He's made up a few positions there. He started in 8th position, finds himself in 6th, as Dadson sets the fastest lap of a 49.1 on the second lap of racing. So that's it's alright race pace, I think, but trying to settle down the car at the start of this stint, that's the main priority for now for Dadson, as he's struggling to get that Aston Martin hooked up, as he goes slower and very wide, missing the apex into turn 3, and Daz right on the back of Dadson at the moment.
He's looking like kind of very composed. Looks like they're all just trying to save fuel, to be honest. Everyone's trying to sit in behind one another.
Yeah, exactly. One of the major places that you're going to gain in this category is at the pit stop. We've seen that in the first 8 races, as it looks like Daz, he sort of thinks about a move on Dadson for a second there, but he doesn't quite go for it. As Grassy says, it looks like he's made a mistake. He's fallen back. He's lost about 5 tenths to Dadson behind. So, I'm not too sure what happened. Oh, that corner gets me on edge every single time. It looks like they're going straight into the grass, and then they catch it at the last moment. As it looks like Dadson's still under pressure from Daz. He's sort of edged out a half a second gap, as Daz finds himself sort of in the middle of no man's land a little bit at the moment. Under pressure from, as he gains right up the back of Dadson there. Looks like this final sector is not Dadson's favourite sector, as they round the final corner to start lap 4. Do we see any fastest laps being set? No, it looks like everyone holds their pace at the moment, as we see a slipstream train starting to form all the way back. It's 4 seconds covering the entire field at the moment. Oh, it's Killer's off! Killer's off! Oh no, that is terrible for Killer, and he tumbles all the way down the order. Loses 5 positions. You saw him go off there at qualifying, and he goes off again. That is not ideal for Killer, and he's not too far off the back, so I reckon he'll get right back into this race, but not the way to start off your race on lap 4. Did you manage to catch that one, Cruzin?
No, I didn't. I was sitting on another driver.
Yeah, well, that's really unfortunate for Killer, but he's persevering, and I'm sure he'll bounce back and get a good result in this race. As we see him edging out a gap, 1.7 seconds now to Dadson, so he's really got his head down. 1.8 actually, as it's just gone up. It seems like Dadson has... Oh, Stranger's overtaken Daz. Oh, Daz is way down the order. What's happened there? There's a massive incident. Something's happened. He's 2.5 seconds off Stranger, so has Daz gone off? Did you see something? Cruzin?
No, I missed that one too. Missing an order action.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there, but I don't know.
I think he might have just just went a bit wide somewhere. I think that's all it's going to take.
Is there damage on anyone's car? Oh, it would probably be cleared by now, but yeah, it's... And Brewer up to P5. He's gained 3 positions, same as S-Mid. No, S-Mid started 9th, and he's in 7th at the moment, so everyone's making moves.
His last lap was a 1 minute 50, so it is off the pace. It was a bit off the pace a bit.
Yeah, Daz a 152 on his last lap, a Stranger a 149. Yeah, not too sure what happened there, but probably just went wide, like Killer did. Unfortunately, didn't catch it. As we look back up front, a 2-second gap Grassy's has to Dadson behind. The question is, has he gone out too hard and too fast here? We'll have to wait and see come the pit stop. Actually, we're 5 laps in. How's the tyres and fuel going for everybody up and down the grid?
Well, the best car on the grid is actually the one in front.
Oh, well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
As
not by much though, it's marginal, it's very marginal, but he has got the best car.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah. Something to say about the Mercedes cars. They're very good on their tyres and fuel.
Probably be Gruel. Yeah, he's got a very good feel.
As Brewer goes into P4, wait, somebody's tumbled down. Something's happened. Daz is gone again. Oh dear. Oh, it needs to go off again. Oh my, this is not going good for Daz at all. He found himself in P2 for so long, and now he's just tumbled down the order, P10. But this track is so punishing. You go slightly wide, and you're completely gone. Oh, that is not good for Daz at all. But once again, he's not too far off the back. It's a very tight pack, only 12 seconds off the lead. I'm sure he'll be able to bounce back and do something. Get a decent result, barring any more mistakes. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Cruzin. What were you saying about Brewer?
I was just saying, he's down in 6th place, but the second back is Aston Martin's looking very good on fuel.
Yeah, Grr, okay.
Yeah.
So we saw last week out at Trial Mountain, Grr was very, very good on his tyres and fuel. He was wearing his tyres at maybe a third that all the other drivers were. So he was driving the wheels off that car in terms of pace and wasn't wearing the tyres at all. So that's some incredible demonstration of skill.
I think again on this track, so I think we might just have a bit of a very gentle driver on our hands.
Yeah.
Very quick at the same time.
And it seems like he's got some good pace. Yeah, absolutely. As we look up front now, that gap 3.5 seconds. Oh, and Stranger's got past Dadson. Stranger has overtaken Dadson and is now into P2. So Dadson is back where he started in P3. Brewer up to P4. This is a massive drive from Brewer already. He started down in 8th position and finds himself in 4th, gaining 4 positions already. So this is some spectacular stuff from up and down the grid. This pack is still very tight. Apart from Grassis and Stranger and Dadson, they're sort of peeling off. But from Brewer all the way back to the back of the grid, actually, it's very, very tight. So good stuff from these guys, keeping it close together. Some nice racing action.
Look at lap times of the Stranger. He's on a bit of a charge at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Grassi's very, very consistent at the moment. Sets another fastest lap with a 49.091. So for race pace in Division 3, that is some good stuff from
he's
Grassi.
flexing now in the AMG.
Yeah,
He's
well,
opening up all 8 cylinders.
yeah, this is exactly what he wants as well, to get away at the start, enjoy the open air, and then when it comes pit stop time, as you said, he's got the best car under him and just extend his lead. This is exactly what you want in the Mercedes. Looking back, Stranger in second, Dadson third, Brewer in fourth, and Bennier in fifth. It looks like he's under fire from Gurr a little bit, actually. Right on the tail, under that rear wing, Gurr is on Bennier, and he might go for a move down into turn 11. Does he think about it? Is he close enough? No, he's not, but he might be able to get it done on the straight if he gets a good exit. And it looks like he hasn't got the exit that he wanted, but he's still within slipstream range, so I wouldn't write off a move.
Keep an eye on Bennier, because he's catching Brewer and Dadson. So these two are kind of starting to hurt the front tyres.
Yeah, this is going to be a very exciting battle pack in a few laps' time, that's for sure. As we see a bit of a gap from VF down to the remaining guys, as we see Killer make a nice move on Daz there. That was pretty impressive. He's just stuck it up the inside of turn 16 as they round the final corner now.
Even VF in the Viper, he's hanging in there on the back of the girl.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like Esmid has made a mistake as well. So it seems like these back three, Killer, Daz, and Smitty, it looks like they've just made a couple of mistakes, and they've found themselves at the back of the pack. But Smitty, he won't be too happy with where he finds himself. Oh, as he's wide, barely holds onto it there. Oh, wow. We might just have a look at that one on the Next Level Racing action replay. As we have a look at that, and as he comes through the first turn, he's just got it all sorts of sideways and they get stuck up on the curb. So not what you want from Esmid at all. As we look up to Grassi's 4-second gap now, so Grassi's absolutely flying. Stranger on the hunt though. A little bit of a slower lap from Grassi, so 50.2 compared to Stranger's 50 flat. And Dadson might just be wanting to stick behind Stranger at the moment. These two, it looks like they're going to have a magnificent championship battle, Stranger and Dadson. They've gone hammer and tongs through the first two races, and that shows in the championship standings at the moment. As Brewer just sort of losing touch from Dadson at the moment and bridging a little bit of a gap to Benny behind, who, by the way, has Brewer right on his tail.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's putting the pressure.
Yeah, Gurr, he is a master of just sitting behind a car and just pressuring them. Not doing anything, just sitting behind and mounting the pressure higher and higher as the race goes on. As he gets in... Oh, as Brewer's made a mistake and he's falling back into the clutches of Bennier now, but Bennier isn't going to be close enough. It looks like Brewer's escaped with just a bit of time lost there rather than the position. But as they come through turn 1, and Gurr still right on the back of Bennier, as Bennier sets the purple first sector. As they come through this section of track. Oh, Brewer got on the grass there a little bit and almost lost it, but he holds on to it. And something to note, actually, it looks like Bennier is the only Kiwi driver in this Division 3 grid tonight, which is just a fun fact.
Yeah. Well, he's holding his own for the Kiwi down there. His position, this field is nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
first in his country for this Div 3 race, I wouldn't be complaining.
Right.
As we look back up front, we'll check that gap. It's just starting to close up between Stranger and Grassi's. So last lap, Grassi's did a 49.7 to Stranger's 50.2. So I think Stranger is running to a number here. And he's a lot more consistent because you look at his lap times and he's gone 49.2, 49.7, 49.9, 49.8, 50 flat, 52. So I mean, and 55. So it looks like he's driving the car well within its limits just to conserve that car. Whereas you compare them to Grassi's lap times and it's a 49.2, 49.7, 49.1, 49.5, 49 flat. Yeah, he's got the pace, but I think he's just a little bit all over the show. And that might start to just reveal itself a lot later in the race.
Adams is really in the Gallagher AEDST under pressure at the moment.
Yeah, this battle pack, it looks like it's Prua, Benia, Gur, and VF. Oh, Benia goes down the inside. Oh, that is not good at all. Oh, wow. He's going to need to give that back, Benia. Oh, yeah, that is... Oh, that is not what you want. That was very late on the brakes from Benia, and we'll just have a look the Next Level Racing action replay at that one. And as they've come up to turn 7, I believe, he's just sent it down the inside. Oh, yeah, it looks like he's very late on the brakes, so yeah, not the best from Benia. Oh, and Gur's off. Gur's off. What was that? Datsun.
Yeah,
Oh, it was Gur.
He was doing so well too.
Yeah, oh, that is... Oh, that... Did you catch that?
No, I think he just caught a bit of understeer coming out of the exit.
Oh, and there's rain! It's raining! Oh my, this is... Oh, wow! It's all kicking off now! This is incredible. This throws a spanner in the works for Grassi's. Oh my, the rain has started. Oh, and he goes around again. That might be a mistake. The Stranger come in. He comes in. Oh, this is incredible. Datsun goes around again. Does Prua come in? No, he stays out. So does VF. Oh, it looks like... Oh, this is massive. Stranger takes the gamble.
Everyone's gambling.
And what does he put on what time? Oh, and Daz comes in too. He's taking the gamble. So does Gur. Oh, wow. It's torrential. The rain is so heavy. It's coming. The rain is coming. This is incredible. Oh, wow. And Grassi's... He's got a... He's... Oh, Datsun's off. Datsun's off. And Prua. Oh, Prua. They're all off. They're all off. Oh, my. What's going on? Oh, no, they can't drive. Oh, wow. And he's only put on inters. Oh, Gur's put on wets. Oh, my. What's Stranger on? Stranger's on... Oh. Gur's the only one. Oh, my. How is Grassi's driving in these conditions? Oh, no. Oh, I thought my game just crashed. Oh, no. They're all stuck down at turn 3. All of them. Oh, my God. Oh, Stranger's struggling as well. Oh, no. Prua, VF, and Killer. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is incredible. Stranger's... Oh, my. Stranger has absolutely got... Okay. I reckon the one who's won it all here is Gur. He's put on wets, I believe. Gur has wets. Yeah. And the rest have inters. Yeah. Oh, my. That rain
coming down, like
that came out of nowhere. There's puddles everywhere, and they're all gone. Oh my, no, oh my, they can't drive in a straight line. Oh no, they've all made the mistake. As Grassy, Datsun's off again. No, okay, they've all made a mistake here. They've gone. Oh my.
Guys are one, like they're
always gone. And Grassy's is crawling his way around the circuit. Oh my. What speed is Grassy's doing?
Less than 60 k's an hour.
This is incredible. Oh my.
He's in trouble here. He's in trouble.
And Stranger, he's going to have to pit again here, Stranger, I reckon, because he's on Inters. Gur's in fourth. Oh my, Gur has made the absolute strategy masterclass. He spun 2 laps ago. 2 laps ago, Gur spun. Look at him now. He's going to get the jump on everyone. And Datsun goes. Oh, Datson's in huge trouble. Oh my. And Gur goes into 3rd. This is absolutely incredible. As Grassy's crawls his way into the pit lane, but his gap is all the way gone as Stranger and Gur around the final corner. Oh my.
They're still spinning.
Oh wow. They're not going to make it back in time, and it looks like the rain's easing off in Sector 3. Yeah, I think that's the right choice. I think that is the right choice.
He's hanging in there, I think too.
Oh my, and as Stranger's off. Oh my, Stranger went off.
Down in T1.
Oh my, this is, oh wow. This caught out so many drivers. Grassy's on the west, and he's got a 3-second penalty. Oh wow. Grassy's with a 3-second penalty.
And then we got Gruel on wet, 4 seconds ahead.
Yeah, so it's Gur is in 1st place. And it looks like Esmid's gone. I think Esmid's thrown in the towel and gone, nah. And this enough is enough. But Gur, he's on the wet tyre, and he's got a 6-second lead over Stranger in P2. It looks like the rain's easing up as well. Oh, in Sector 2, in the northwest side of the circuit, it looks like the rain is easing up. But Benny, oh my, Benny has put on Inters.
Still looks like
So's VF. Benny and VF have put on Inters. What's the rain gauge telling us? Yeah, what's the rain gauge telling us?
It's still over half. And if you look at the Stranger's Aston, it's still very loose. Like he's having trouble pulling it up.
Yeah, just look at the gap between Stranger and Gur. And remember, Stranger was like a good 15 seconds down the road when the rain started. So, but it was such a sudden downpour.
Still can't keep that car in a straight line.
Yeah, this is... Oh... He's holding on to it. He's drifting the hell out of it. It looks like he's having a lot of fun here, Stranger, actually.
An SVG style drive at the moment.
Yeah. So I think it's been a while, but we should have a look at the instant replay when it first all kicked off.
Yeah.
So I've looked back and, yeah, so they're all off. They've just all gone off at turn 3. That's when it's all happened. And then none of them have been able to recover past that. So, oh wow, this is not what you want if you're Datsun, the championship leader at the moment. This is absolutely not what you want at all. But
he's put the wets on though, so
yeah. Turn on the traction control, guys. Turn it on. I don't care if you think you can drive, but at this rate, I think it's easier to just turn it on. Oh, as Benny has gone on the Inters, Prua goes through past Benia. So
within the top 5, there are only 3 drivers with wet tyres.
Yeah, so that's some interesting stuff as well. It looks like it's easing up, but and a dry line is starting to get picked off. You can see a little bit. So the Inters could be the right call, but it's a bit wet for him right now, I reckon.
Definitely.
As Grasses goes deep into turn 3. So after all that chaos, let's just have a look through the pack. So Gur in first. So Stranger's held that gap to Gur because I think the dry line's starting to come out. I think he's able to just sort of tag behind Gur at the moment. But yeah, 2nd place for Stranger. 3rd is Grasses, sitting 19 seconds off the back of Stranger and 13 seconds ahead of Daz. So what tyres are these guys on as well, by the way? Because I know that Gur's on wets, Stranger's on Inters.
Grasses is on wets, and then we got Daz on Inters, and then we got Datsun on wets. Okay,
so that's interesting. So Daz and Grass... No. Yeah, it's Daz and Grass... No, I'm still getting confused. It's Daz and Stranger that are on the inters, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so they... Okay, so now we can really see this dry line starting to form into the third sector. So, we'll see if it's the right...
T1. That's where the...
Yeah, the track is so different. The eastern side of the track is still pouring, while the western side is bone dry. Well, it looks like the rain has just eased up on the eastern side for now, but that track is still very, very greasy and wet. While on the western side, if we just have to look down to P5, it's relatively dry at the moment. So those changeable conditions aren't ideal, but yeah. So
looking at the weather radar, the rain meter that we have on our cars, it is going down.
It is going down. So there's no more rain coming, or is there? Not that we can see.
Not that we can see, but at the moment the track is easy.
Yeah, so 23 minutes remain in this race, and all hell has broken loose here. So if you're in Div 1 and you're looking at the moment, as soon as that rain starts to come down, you know you need to get in as soon as you can, because all hell just broke loose to the guys that stayed out. And the ones that did come in, Stranger, Grassy stayed out, but he finds himself 22 seconds off the lead at the moment. He was leading the race. So Gur and Stranger, they came in straight away, and it was the correct call. And look at them now. Stranger is just drifting all over the show. I think he's just having fun, I think. Oh, look at that. Tokyo drifting his way around the circuit.
Yeah, just a couple corners there. It's still quite wet.
As he almost drifts off the track, but it's a spectacular show that he's putting on for us at the moment. I don't know whether it's quick. Yeah, I don't know whether it's quick, but it looks flashy. It's incredible to watch.
Look at it.
Yeah. And it seems to be working for him, because that gap to Gur is just staying about that 6 second mark.
Yeah, 6.5. Occasionally it's come down a little bit, but then I think it's the consistency of Gur.
Yeah, the lap times have really come down as well. Like, 2:13 plays 2:04 compared to lap 13 and 14 for these guys. But, yeah, it's definitely intermediate conditions at the moment. The question is, who decides to take the gamble onto slicks? Because I think the rule of thumb that you need to stick to here is don't be the first. You do not want to be on slick tyres on a greasy circuit when everybody else is on inters. That's just a recipe for disaster. Unless you're towards the bottom, then it could be a risk that you're willing to take. But I think don't be the first. That's the big tick. Don't be the first. As we see, Daz an astonishing 33 seconds off the leader down in Sector 1. Grassy's just ahead of him. Well, I say just ahead. He's 10 seconds ahead of him down the road. But I'll tell you what. Wait, what's happening up front? Oh, no, never mind. That's a back marker. I was like, I thought Killer was Stranger for a second there. As Pruitt. Yeah. So was he on inters already?
He must have been. I thought he put wets on, but...
I thought he did too, but he comes into the pits and... Oh no, he's on wets at the moment is what he's saying. So he's putting on inters, I believe, yeah. So he's putting... No, he puts on softs! He's the first... Oh, but he gets a 3-second penalty. There's nothing you can do about that. That the game sometimes throws you out. But Pruitt taking an absolute gamble. I was just saying don't be the first. And he's the first to put him on. And especially when you've got a dry line like this, you go offline and you're on slicks, you're just gone. There's no pulling it up. So Pruitt is the first to put on the slicks, and he seems to be doing all right for now. So what's the indicator telling us? Is it in that bottom third, or?
It is in that bottom third.
Oh!
That corner right there. That corner right there, it shoots to the top.
Yeah.
It's still very wet on that corner, as we saw.
I would assume that's because he went offline, but that's... Yeah. Oh, that's not what you want. As we see, somebody's coming to the pits. No, somebody's struggling to get into the pits. It was Grassy's. Oh, who's still there? Oh. Okay, so these guys are thinking it's softs time. It's hammer time for these guys. If you're Gur and Stranger, I would just stick to your current tyres at the moment. But I don't know why these guys have actually come into the pits so early.
I think you do lose a lot of time when you're whetstone on a dry track.
As we see,
Grassy's
Grassy's is off on turn 1. Oh, wow. What happened there? Did he just aquaplane sideways, crab walk sideways out of the pit lane?
I think the pit exit is offline, so when you're coming out, you're on
Yeah.
slick tyres on the wet.
Yeah, he's just... Oh, it looks like he's just like crab walk aquaplane into the wall on that right-hand side of the track. But yeah, they're holding it for now. And if you're Gur and Stranger, I don't know. I would just be watching that gap to all the guys behind, thinking, is it worth it coming in now? Because Gur's still stuck on those heavy wet tyres, but he's not short on pace. He's doing 201s. Oh no, Gur! Oh Gur, what have you done? Oh, commentator's curse. Sorry. But as he comes around, does he
look
pit?
How dry he is. Look how dry he is.
Yeah, if he's just come off into the last turn, why would he reasonably pit? As
That's
Stranger
smart.
comes in.
He's cooling down his tyres. He's going purposely on the
Yes.
wet stuff. He needs to be driving offline.
Yeah,
That's
so
really whippy.
let's see what Stranger does. So, not Stranger, Gur. Let's see what Gur does. Stranger comes in for new tyres. How much does he put any fuel in the car? Yes, he does. He puts in about 10%. Yeah, he does.
I think we'll need to pit on this lap to cover himself.
Yeah, surely. You would imagine the track is looking very dry on the dry line at the moment. It is definitely 4 slicks on that dry line, but you can still see the edges of the track. They're still very greasy as Stranger gets a penalty. I think there's something wrong with the game at this track. It keeps throwing people out across those lines because I've seen about 10. I've seen it happen about 10 times.
Could be getting it on entry too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just throwing it in a bit too hard on entry and it's causing... Oh, I look back to Pruitt and he's gone off track. Oh, Pruitt, keep it straight. Go on, Pruitt. Yeah, okay. He's got it going again. But, yeah, very tricky conditions at the moment.
That penalty is helping Gruel though.
Yeah, for sure. As Gur rounds the final sector, does he pit this lap? I'm not sure whether he will or not.
Big sideways
is he?
with the Grassy's, yeah.
Oh, and it looks
Insane,
like Daz is going to overtake him. Oh, Daz is gone as well. Oh, wow. So
Yeah, he got
Daz is
caught up a
yeah.
bit.
Daz had to go offline to try and overtake Grassy's, and he's ended up in the wall. So we'll just have a look at that on the instant replay. Yeah, so Daz has had to go offline to try and get around Grassy's, and he's just ended up into the wall. So now Daz is only 4 seconds up the road from Dadson. Okay, so can we just... Okay, so Gur comes in. Can we get an update on who's on what tyre at the moment?
Right, so we got Gruel in to... I'm assuming he's going to take his wets off. And put
Surely.
on softs. Yeah. We got the strangest on softs.
On softs? Yep.
Grassy's on softs. Dad's
Oh,
on softs.
look at the gap between Gur... Oh, and Gur's got penalty. No, it's not funny, but I mean, everybody's just getting the 3-second line penalty. But yeah, so... yeah, sorry to interrupt you there.
Yes, I think we're all on the dry tyre though.
Everyone, okay.
Everyone's
so,
on the dry tyre now.
And look at that dry line down the pit straight. It is definitely time for slicks. Except you don't want to go near the edges of the track. We've seen it already take a few victims, a few people already going off track, and it's just caused all sorts of issues.
But if you look at Dadson, he's currently on a purple sector. He's still sitting in 5th position. So he's
Purple
still holding
sector
zone.
on a greasy track.
Yeah.
As he comes through turn 7. looks like he's handling the greasy conditions just fine. As all, heard lots of screeching in the background. Daz off again. So Daz is not liking these greasy conditions one bit in his Mercedes. But he also, okay, this race has been a roller coaster of emotions for so many people. You see people up and down the grid. Oh my. So Daz went to the back and now he's into fourth. You had Brewer at the back and he came up the grid and now he's back down. You got Dadson, who's still on a forwards charge, only sitting 4 seconds off a podium, really. I mean, yes, 4 seconds off a podium, really. It's really shaping up for this battle for third position. It could get a little bit close in a few laps' time. Who, sorry? Daz. Oh.
And that just gives that to the fourth position.
Daz is not having a good day at all on these greasy conditions. Obviously, or didn't quite get enough practice in on the wet track or the drying track, that is. But yeah, he goes slightly down again. But then there's a massive gap to the guys that really got it wrong on those slick tyres on when downpour first came. You got Benia, VF, Brewer and Killer just miles off the back of the pack. They're driving, well, they get points, but it's more for pride, I reckon. Keeping on.
Well, we're actually looking at the fuel right now. Actually, VF might be in trouble here.
How much fuel has VF got?
Just over a quarter.
Oh, yeah, he's still got 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's cutting it a bit fine.
But
Yeah, you can hear in that Dodge just definitely upshifting. Oh, I say he's upshifting very early and he sets a purple first sector. It just sounded like he was using a higher gear, but don't listen to me, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. And Brewer in the Mercedes. I forgot my own team owner in the other Mercedes. It was Brewer, Gracis, and Daz in the Mercedes. Finally completed the list. Took me a while. It only took me like 55 minutes to figure out who was in Mercedes.
I think some of these AMD drivers, they've really set their car up for dry conditions. A lot of the AMGs were quicker to drive as soon as it started to rain.
Yeah, as a Mercedes driver myself in this series, to get the turn-in that you need in the dry, you really have to set it up with a lot of raking. You can kind of see that with Grassi's car, and we'll just have a look at Brewer's car as he comes around. Last time I spoke to Brewer, he had a lot of rake on that car. It doesn't look like it has an insane amount anymore, but yeah, in the dry, to get that Mercedes hooked up, to get the turn-in and rotation that you need, you really have to have a lot of rake, and a lot of rake is not ideal in the wet conditions at all. So you need to be very careful. Oh, and Gur and Stranger, 1 second gap. It's on for the lead as Gur goes purple, and we can't see about Stranger, but yeah, Stranger's gained 2 seconds on the last lap. So I think Gur's had an off, because lap 17, no, lap 17, 18 was when he pit. Oh! Looked like he had, oh no, he's had to serve that 3 second penalty. He had to serve that 3 second penalty, yeah. So that's cost him almost his entire lead. But now these guys are absolutely flying. He could be on for a fastest lap.
He still has the better tires though.
That's, yeah, because he pitted 2 laps, or 1 lap later. Yeah.
Yeah, later, yeah.
As he rounds the final corner now.
He's got less fuel, so he's got the lighter car.
Yeah, so Gur's going to be able to push harder, but I mean, you can't really push too much in these conditions. And what's going to be is he sets a fastest lap. 48.5 from Stranger, blown the previous lap time out of the water. So Gur set a 48.8, and Stranger set a 48.5. And looking at the main straight, the track is completely dry now. Not a wince of water anywhere. on the circuit. So it's dried up extremely quickly. About 20 minutes ago, it was absolute downpour. But yeah, so as they round the first sector, that's a 9/10 gap. And we could say, oh, Grassy's even quicker, 48 flat. That's like 4/10 off his qualifying time. That's impressive from Grassy's. He's 9 seconds off the leaders, but he's getting along at a good trot, that's for sure. As Dadson's last lap was a 49.4. So yeah, and Daz closing up that gap to Dadson just a little bit of 48.5 from Daz. Yeah, he gained on the lap before with a he had about 3/10 on Dadson on the lap before, but yeah, the track is bone dry. Is there anything showing up on the water meter?
No, not at all.
Nothing at all. Okay, so it's a bone dry track.
I think we're gonna see the Mercedes maybe come back into it now.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a tough ask for Grassy. It's only 8.5 minutes remaining on the clock, but anything's possible. These two up front could have a collision, but yeah, let's just see what happens. Everyone's just getting along at a pretty good click at the moment. As Gur crosses the line, consistent time. Stranger, same time as Gur. And Grassy's crosses the line of 48.8. So Dadson behind. Let's see what he sets, 49.8. So everyone's setting 49.8. Oh no, 48.8 for the guys up front.
It's closing fast.
The gap between Gur and Stranger, 3/10.
Oh
wow.
Soon.
This is anyone's game.
I reckon one more lap and we're going to see.
This is going to be an incredible race. I said it before the race. This could be one of the greatest races in Sector 1 racing history. And this track has just delivered with the sudden downpour of water, and it's just incredible race. And it's come down to this 4/10, 7 minutes on the clock. Let's see who gets the win. And Stranger just knocking on the back door of Gur at the moment. Gur isn't going to give this up for a minute. He wants the glory. Oh, he got all stuck up on that entry curve.
He's really doing that late apex to get the exit.
Yeah, let's actually ride on board with Stranger. Let's ride on board with Stranger as he catches Gur as they come through the final sector.
I forgot to tell me he's pulled a couple of tenths again.
And remember, Stranger, he's got the slipstream down the back straight. So let's see how much that closes up. Really stretching out the gearbox. He hasn't got the best of exits out of that final corner as they slow down coming into the first turn. It gets on the power early. Doesn't quite get the better exit. Gur very late on the brakes into turn 1. Gets gains on the very deep on the brakes from Stranger. He's going to lose out on the exit though, as we see that time skyrocket again.
I think the backers Aston Martin has a little bit better top end than the doghouse.
Yeah, that's interesting actually.
Yeah.
As we saw Stranger absolutely revving the everything that Aston Martin gives him in the Doghouse Motorsports car, as he comes up through turn 10, sorry, and into the hairpin of turn 11. Right on the back of Gur once again. So it seems he can get close through the first and last sectors, but doesn't quite have enough beans to get past Gur on the straight. As they come into the final sector, this is the part where Gur seems to be a little bit more dominant than Stranger. A little update on Grassy's, by the way. He's dropped back a few seconds. He might have had an off. We'll just check on that in a minute, but we'll just have a look with Stranger for the moment. as they round the final corner, gets on into third early, got the turn in from second. That's everything he needs second for on that final corner. Gets on the power, still within that slipstream range, hanging about that 6.5 tenth mark at the moment. So we'll just have a look at the times from Grassy's. I don't. Oh, okay, yeah. So 52.9. So something's happened to Grassy's. He's had an off somewhere. Not too sure where, but it's sort of just invited Dadson. Oh, and the battle between Dadson and Daz is shaping up as well. 5 tenths between that. It's the Daz looked very quick and qualified. Oh, as he's made a mistake actually.
Yeah, I think Daz wants his 4th position back.
Yeah, for sure. It's getting to the pointy end of the race for sure. 3 minutes remaining. They're gonna get 2 more laps by the looks of it.
Oh, what's happened? Who's now 2 seconds ahead?
Oh.
Strange has had it off.
Yeah, well that's not good at all. But this battle is still... Stranger might be out of time. I don't think a 2 second gap unless Gur makes a mistake. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Nothing's happened. He's fallen back.
Yeah, exactly. As we see, Dadson and Daz is the closest battle on track at the moment, followed by Brewer and VF. 1.5 seconds between them at the moment. But Dadson and Daz, for the moment, it's very tight. I think the championship leader can hold his own at the moment.
Yeah.
He needs all the points he can get to try and run away with this championship. Currently sits ahead by 16 points at the top of the table. 63 plays 47 to Stranger. So that's really going to close up.
Daz has to exit. I think he's got to exit.
2.5 tenths. We could see a move from Daz.
He nailed the exit. Really good exit.
And here we go. He goes down the inside and Daz gets... Oh, he goes deep! He's gone! He's gone deep! Oh, it's all gone wrong for Daz! That is not what you want at all! Oh! Daz! Oh, dear. He had the move done. He's just late on the brakes and... Oh, that is not what he wants at all. Looking back on the action replay... down the main straight, he had him done. He had him locked off. He went down the inside, and then he's just laid on the brakes straight off. And that is not what you want at all from Daz. But he finds himself in P5. Hasn't lost out at the moment. Yeah, well, it looked like it was for sure a move. I know Daz will probably be blaming a little bit of moisture on the inside line of the circuit. But yeah, that is absolutely, that is heartbreaking from Daz. He had the move on the championship leader, but not to be on this occasion.
If we just reflect back to the perfect call, the coming for the wets. We're all kind of in our final positions now in the last few laps.
What do you mean, like, was it the right call? For sure, I think.
For sure, like...
Yeah, looking back, it was definitely the right call, but found himself at the back of the grid, and that's the time that you need to take a gamble, and this was a gamble. Absolutely finds himself leading the race with a 2 second gap, and it's the final lap of the race, actually. So, yeah, so good on Taguri. He's got a 2 second gap. He just needs to drive it home here. And it's all his. And actually, a 3rd consecutive win in Division 3 for Dadson Racing. The first 2 coming from the man himself, Gillette Man, and the second coming from Gur. And it is the final lap. As we see, looking back, Vania finishes the line, crosses the line in 6th, VF in 7th, Brewer 8th, and Killer will be the next across the line, but we'll check back on him when he makes his way through the final sector. as they come down into turn 12 and turn 13, Gur and Stranger. So we'll just look back to Killer. He rounds the final corner, and it wasn't the best drive from Killer. Got stuck up on the wet tyres, but he'll be happy with that. Some good points for his campaign. As we look back up to Gur, in spectacular fashion, took the risk, and it's absolutely paid off for Gur in the Golden Datsun. And this is a spectacular drive, a historic drive, as he comes through to cross the line. P1 for Gur, followed by Stranger in second place, 3 seconds behind, and Grassis. He had a brilliant first part of the race, but got caught out by the wet weather, did spectacularly to keep it on the track during that period of time, and comes home to take the podium. 4th place for the championship leader, Datsun. That gap to Stranger behind, going to close up by 5 or 6 points, but Daz crosses the line in 5th, and he is the last one to cross the line. What a race! That was spectacular stuff. Absolutely entertaining, as we saw Gur with that massive gamble. Stranger, he did everything right that he could have done right, and solid performance from Stranger in second place, up the pointy end the entire race. Couldn't have done it any better. And Grassy's in third, had a spectacular first stint. We just got caught out by the sudden downpour, but he did a spectacular job to bring it home. Datsun in 4th, Daz 5th, Bania 6th, VF in 7th, Prua 8th, Killer 9th, and Smitty was in 10th, but unfortunately he disconnected. It was too much for him to handle on. Just the conditions were terrible when the downpour did come, but when it came, it wasn't the best. So yeah. As the lobby is finishing up, it's just taking a minute.
Who's your pick for driver day?
Oh, gotta give it to Gur. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to get a gamble, take a gamble like that, and it paid off for him absolutely, and it was good stuff. As we switch across to the podium celebration, if it wants to do that. So Gur, 6 positions raised, started 7th, and he came home to take the win in extraordinary fashion. Oh wow, that you absolutely love to see it. Another Datsun win for this season in Division 3. Seems like it's just the Datsun's year. So yeah, my driver of the day goes to Gur. Took a lot of guts to make a decision like that, and it paid off perfectly for him in the end. So yeah, who do you give your driver of the day to?
I think I'm going to give it to Grow 17. Just that, that's sheer perfect strategy call.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I love to see it, and I mean, a wet race at Autopolis. I knew it was a recipe. Something just felt like it was going to be a good race, and I'm glad that we got that one. But stay tuned, everybody, because coming up next, don't go anywhere, is the Division 1 race. So these next guys are the best of the best, and it's the guys that are absolute freaks of nature behind the wheel of a Gran Turismo car. So yeah, thanks for doing the Div 3 race tonight, Cruzin. And yeah, that was just awesome. Anything else? Any other comments you want to make, Cruzin?
No, I think that wraps it up. Just a huge congrats for the guys who's had to put up with a very wet track.
Yeah.
They did excellent. And
now we switch across to Good Doc's lobby. do we have any word on when qualifying's going to get underway at the moment? Good Doc?
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, we're ready to kick off pretty shortly.
All right.
I'll go ahead into a lobby reset in a second and get these guys underway.
Yeah, I'm just joining the lobby at the moment. What do you think of the wet race in the Div 3?
It was a bit wet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Far
a bit
out.
slippery. It was a very sudden downpour, but yeah, it caught a few guys out. But yeah, it made way for some spectacular strategy calls, particularly towards the guys at the back. Like if you were grassies at the start of that race and stuff, it was just sprinkling when you crossed the line, and then by the time you got to turn 1, it was torrential. Like, it is what it is. It happens. That's racing. As qualifying for Division 1 should be getting underway anytime soon.
Yeah, working on it.
And it looks like qualifying is about to get underway right now. So, yeah, looking forward to another spectacular race as we see a few clouds on the
Well,
horizon.
it's been perfect dry here all day so far. So we'll see how we go.
As Karen Unleashed leads the pack out, followed. I can't look at it at the moment because the game has jumbled up the entire pack, but it's followed by the 2 Ascension Racing drivers, the duo in the I believe is the Vipers for Distinct Andrew. Oh, it's ASR. It's Atom that's in the Ascension Racing car tonight, not Noodles. I didn't even know that was happening, but so
Adam's just jumped in tonight for a bit of a run, and I think Troy V8 XW's jumping in as well tonight for Ragged Edge. So we've got a couple of guys just having their first event for the season.
yeah, exactly. And so we're missing a few drivers tonight. I know we're missing Muffin. Are we missing? Oh yeah, Kiwi Raikkonen as well.
And Corgi.
Yes, okay. And looks like we have everybody else. We have Troy in the Ragged Edge on point Aston Martin. Is he just a wildcard entry, or is he just filling in for somebody?
No, he's just a wild card.
Okay.
The spacing group A drop him in, so we dropped him in for the round.
Yep.
While he's available.
So we must be missing someone else as well in that case. We've got 11. Let me just have a quick look through. So we're missing Muffin, Corgi, and I'll just bring up my notes. That would help.
So fastest lap time I've seen in this lobby so far tonight was a 46.1.
Rapid.
Yeah, these guys are mucking about tonight. I actually have noticed now the sun has just dipped under behind the cloud for the first time in this lobby today, so these guys must be getting awfully nervous looking at the clouds.
And I figured out who is the other driver that we are missing for tonight. It is Ando787. He isn't here tonight. So we've got 11 cars for tonight's grid, and they line up like this in the qualifying at the moment. So it's Karen Unleashed who leads the pack out, followed by GTR, Distinct Andrew, and Adam. It's V8XW Falcon, Corey Hackins. Oh, okay, there was a bit of netcode there, a bit of lag. I thought he just careered straight into the wall, but he's still driving in a straight line, so gave me a bit of a heart attack. But Lucky, 7th in the pecking order at the moment. Nux in 8th, looking to get another good qualifying under his belt. He's been blistering all season. He's sort of been the one to bridge the gap between the aliens and the mortals.
2x3 is meant to be special here. 46.2. First lap.
Oh, it's Andrew to the top of the table.
Adam goes to third with a 46.6. He comes next pack now, followed by Troy D. 40.04.
See Nux crossing the line, 47.1. I know Nux has a lot more in him than a 47.1, but as we see Morgan Davey crossing the line, and who else? Hellraiser crosses the line. It's not the best time he would have wanted to set, and my teammate Ricky Bobby crosses the line, and did he set? Yeah, okay, the game took a minute to update it for me, but he goes into 4th position with a 46.7, so he'd be very happy with that through his first flight.
I've seen Hellraiser go faster in practice so far. He was in the mid 46s in practice, so I expect him to pop his way up the field.
Yeah, exactly. Just a mistake on his first lap, it looks like. Maybe having it off somewhere. Just 2 seconds off the pace that he can set. It looks like is he running a different livery from last week out? It might just be my brain making a mistake.
But I think all the CP cars have different liveries this season, don't they? They're all very much the same style, but different colours, I think, different sponsors.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I actually notice you look at TX3's Aston Martin, you can just tell that car's higher rake. You can see it just the back end skipping through the corners. He's got lots of turn in on that car. He'll be praying for a full dry race.
Yeah, exactly. As he peels into the pits, followed by Distinct Andrew and Adam.
Karen, who'll be kicking himself so far, hasn't improved his lap so far. Done a 48.9.
As Nux peels into the pits as well. And so does Lucky, Corey Hack. Yeah, everybody's in. TX3 out again, and Morgan Davey sets another time. He goes 4 tenths quicker. Keeps himself in 8th position. Doesn't move up or down.
Morgan's not the greatest of qualifiers, but far out during the race he picked up some spots.
Exactly. We saw it last time out at Trial Mountain. He gained a whopping 7 positions by the end of the race. As Distinct Andrew currently leads GTR by a 10.5 in this qualifying session. And an ASR Adam, as a bit of a wild card for this race, he's a team owner, he sat this season out, but he's come in, hopped into the car, and he's holding up his own for now in the yellow Ascension Viper.
Yeah, that's a good thing about this season. We've got a little bit of room in the lobbies at the moment, so it gives us enough space to let these guys pop in and out as they need to. Obviously with no Teams Championship this season, it doesn't make much of a difference really, so they're able to just go out for some personal points and also take some points away from the competition as well. If they can get themselves up the front of the field, they could help their teammate out too that's racing for the championship. So
exactly. And we've seen it in all up and down the 4 divisions. Teammates are a massive helping boost in this format of racing that we have here. Very tight, very powerful, very heavy cars that love to just sit in the slipstream and like conserve their tyres and fuel. You see a majority of the moves made up in the pit stop, depending on how well people conserve their tyres and fuel. And if you have a teammate there in front of you the entire way, it's just going to make that process of saving just that little bit easier. As we see, GTR is miles ahead of the rest of the pack actually. He sets a purple first sector. We might just ride on board with GTR for while he drives around in his Ragged Edge on point Aston Martin. As he comes through the first hairpin, gets it very sideways, but if you've been watching TX3 during practice, his driving looks very messy, but it's very quick. So he's obviously got a very aggressive tune. As you pointed out earlier, he must have a lot of rake hooked into this into the setup of this car. As it's skipping around on all the curbs, and it doesn't look very pretty, but it's incredibly quick around this track. So
Andrew currently on a quick one at the moment. He's purple to the tune of looking like he might bash into the 45s here, guys.
yeah, and TX3 is purple coming into the last sector as well. So as he rounds the 16th corner, yes, 16th there, and 17th corner as he comes into the second to last sweeping bend. It really wears your front tyres onto the power early, and then the quick left-hand switch for the final 19th corner, and he's very quick. That's a 40. Oh, very close to a 45, but not to be. And Andrew goes marginally. Oh no, he doesn't quite get Andrew.
45.7. Boom.
Andrew. Oh my. Oh, he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon either. A 45.8.
Nux just does a 46.6 to improve to P4 there as well. Almost managed to grab Adam as well.
Yeah, we're
0.006
very
is the gap
happy
there.
with that time. And as we
5
see,
minutes to go.
Ricky Bobby is the next to cross the line. Oh no, he's on an out lap at the moment, so he'll be starting his lap now.
Ricky Bobby's the quieter achiever of Group A. He just sort of gets on with it. And suddenly, how did he just get there? Just pops up out of nowhere and ends up in the front of the field somewhere. Like, how's that happened?
Just plugs along. As Corey Hack improved his lap time, and he's sitting 400ths behind Ricky Bobby at the present. And the Ascension boys still bumper to bumper. Maybe it looks like maybe Distinct Andrews just pulling along Adam to give him a few extra tenths here and there down the main straights.
They were trying that in the last lap there where Andrew went fast, was that Adam made a little bit of a mistake and just dropped off the back of him a little bit.
And they might be pitting this lap, I believe.
It's like Hellraiser's just starting to wind the wick up on the CP car, currently 11th. He's 0.7 in the second up on his fastest lap at the moment.
He has a lot of talent in the tank, Hellraiser. He's new to Sector 1, and he's maybe just succumbing to the pressure a little bit of Division 1, but lots of pace from this guy, and we'll see what he can set as he comes around the final few corners. That's turn 17 he rounds at the moment.
He's showing flashes of brilliance here. In practice before we started qualifying, he was in the mid 46s, so he was up about the middle of the field there, you know, towards the front half of the field. So I think he gets a clean lap in, he might improve quite a bit. He goes up to 8th.
I reckon he has a lot more in his tank still. I think he could improve by quite a margin. As you're saying, the mid 46s, that's a second away. So don't discount him at the moment. Sitting
Ricky
in 8th
Bobby
position.
just quietly got to 3rd, by the way, guys.
Oh, you'll be very happy with that. 1,000th of a second ahead of ASR Adam.
Yep. So how close is that? Is that 3-4-5 split? Is 0.007.
I know. Being my teammate, I was talking to him throughout the week, and he wasn't very confident about this track. But I mean, sticking it on provisional P3. If that doesn't radiate confidence, I don't know what does.
He's one of the Mercedes guys that would have been praying for a standing start reset too, because the Mercedes is an absolute jet off the line compared to everything else.
Yeah, maybe just tune the gearbox a little bit, make that second gear a little bit shorter. Maybe get a better jump off the line than everybody else.
Well, you can plan and go with the Mercedes. You can just stand on it, rev bang it off the line, and it just goes like a wheel spin. But it gets a really good launch. It just takes off like a shot out of a gun.
Yeah.
Doesn't ever bog. But Vipers and that really struggle to standing start, unfortunately.
As we
Adam's
see,
still tucked in underneath the back of Andrew here as well, so he's looking to get a good toe in this lap. Been right under the rear wing this whole way around.
Yeah, have these guys pit again? Yeah, I believe they did pit.
Yeah.
And they're off again, barreling towards turn 1. We might just ride on board with Atom for the time being. See how this qualifying lap goes from now. 1:30 remains in this session as they barrel down towards turn 3. He is purple by 2 milliseconds. As they come through turns 5 and 6.
GDR's just heading towards the third sector split, looks of it. He's up on his best lap too. Not quite in reach of purple yet, but he's up.
And
these guys pretty much in their last lap.
Yeah, so the battle for third at the moment, 7 milliseconds separates Ricky Bobby in third to Nux in 5th, and then another 300ths back is Corey Haxov. Oh, and Adam, big moment. He's barely held onto it there, but he
Let's
keeps
watch that
going.
lap off though. Look at them cars dipping down into that corner there. They just drop in there.
Yeah, it makes you think that they're heading straight for the grass, and then they catch the cambered part of the circuit and it just catches them. And you hope that it catches you anyway, as we see who it looks to be Corey Hack sitting behind in the mirrors of Adam at the moment.
GDR. 1:45.9 there to go. Very close to Andrew there.
Oh,
as Ricky Bobby's
Bobby's off. Yeah. And yeah, Corey Hack looks like he's sort of being held up by Adam at the moment, but he doesn't improve his lap time, but he's very close, a 1/4 of a tenth away from Adam's time. And it looks like that's the end of qualifying for these first few guys. There's a few more running to complete as Troy goes 47.8. He's sitting in 11th position at the moment.
Alright, these guys just need to finish the lap, the ones that are around the bottom of the circuit, then we're done.
Okay, so it looks like some of these guys have,
Just going to see if anyone's still going or if everyone's bailing on their lap.
Yeah, most people are bailing.
Andrew's still going, he would have crossed the line in time. It's just the guy at the top of the track, who's that? Karen.
Yeah, Karen's still going. They'll be the last one to complete their lap.
Andrew and Corey Hacker still can go around too. They're the last two. Andrew's pulled up, Corey Hack's going to stop as well, so those guys are done.
Yeah.
Just wait for Karen to cross the line, give him a chance to finish the lap, and then we'll go again.
And let's see whether he can overtake Hellraiser for P9 or even go any higher. It looks like he's getting along at a good click at the moment as he rounds the penultimate corner as he comes into turn 19. Oh, very wide oversteer. Oh. He was telling me before the race that he likes a very pointy car, but I don't think he meant like that. That's for sure. So they line up like this at the moment. So it is Distinct Andrew on pole position, followed by TX3 GTR, Nux, Ricky Bobby, Atom, Corey Hack, Morgan Davey, Lucky, Hellraiser, Karen Unleashed, and V8XW Falcon in P11. So we'll try and get this up as soon as possible, but it's hard because of the way this is started. And I'll try and get them for turn 1. And we are green flag racing as they barrel towards turn 1. It looks like GTR got a good start. And he's right on the tail of Distinct Andrew, and he's alongside. He's going to go into the lead here. And it looks like he's going to get this move immediately. Yes, he does. Goes into the lead. TX3 GTR, the 3-time Sector 1 champion. And it looks like everyone's got through cleanly for the most part. It looks like most people have held their position. Morgan Davey, do you remember what position he started?
Yeah, he's made a move. He grabbed Corey Hack there at the start.
So Corey Hack moves down 1. It looks like somebody's going for a move through the corner, through the left-hand sweeper of turn 8 as they come into the hairpin. and GTR holds the pack behind. Half a second gap to Distinct Andrew behind. So he'll be very happy.
Third as well.
Yeah,
Ricky
so...
Bobby, fourth.
Yeah, these guys have had a great start, and I think everyone will be happy where they are at the moment at the pointy end, especially Nux and Ricky Bobby. They're competing with the top guys at the moment, just sort of bridging that gap to the mid-pack. They're sort of like the upper middle, best of the rest, you can think of it, almost. As we see a few moves going on in the background here, as look like Lucky was going for a move on Corey Hack, but he's just pulled out of that for the moment. So they cross the line for the first time to start lap 2, and GTR still holds the lead of the race by about 6/10 to Distinct Andrew behind. 7/10 now. Yeah, it looks like GTR got a good exit compared to the Viper of Distinct Andrew. Just holding on to that slipstream range for now. Very tight pack at the moment as well. Very, very tight. The entire pack is within 7 seconds, but everyone's basically more or less bumper to bumper. As we see Ricky Bobby right on the back of Nux, and Atom right on the back of Ricky Bobby. So that's the battle for third at the moment. So these guys going to be battling very hard for the entire race, I can imagine.
They're all behaving themselves quite nicely actually at the moment, which is interesting. I was expecting to see a couple of big passes by now, but they're all behaving.
Yeah, as we see... Oh, and Corey very slow through the corner. Oh my gosh, the lag from Corey Hack. It looks like he's going wide every single time he goes through that hairpin, but it's just the game having a bit of a moment. As we see a bit of a gap between Lucky and Karen, a 2-second gap between them now. But Karen, he's made a couple of moves here, and he's up into P9. I believe he started P10. But yeah, and then we got Troy sitting at the back. He's just enjoying the day out, honestly. He's not too far behind anybody, but yeah, he'll just if he makes no mistakes, just keeps his head down, he could be in for a good result, as GTR sets the fastest lap of the race with a 46.568. So that is very quick for race pace.
I've noticed that the sun's out in Sector 1 and Sector 2, but in Sector 3 we've got full cloud cover now.
Yeah, and looking at the direction of the wind, the clouds are going to be coming from that south side of the circuit where they're at the moment, if it does come. But we'll have to see whether it does indeed come. And when we saw last race, when it rains, it pours. That's the message that the Div 3 race is sending to the Div 1 guys.
Oh, g'day Carbon, greetings from Thailand. Yeah, hope you're having a good time over there, mate. Andrew's just got, oh, TX3 went really deep then. Andrew just got to look over the inside.
So
as they've gone purple again through Sector 2.
Womble is asking the important questions in chat. He goes, how is a 45 even possible? That's what we all want to know.
I don't know, mate. I don't understand it.
It's one of the great questions of life.
That's why we have 4 divisions. Just keeps these guys here separated on their own, so the rest of us actually have some decent racing.
Yeah, and have some tight and close racing, which seems to have happened across all 4 divisions so far this season. As they round the final sector.
We keep telling GT that we want bigger grids, but can you imagine being one of those Div 2 guys in a group with these guys? I wouldn't be overly comfortable about that if I was them.
Yeah, well then we would need to introduce like a Pro and Pro-Am sort of class system, you reckon?
Yeah.
As they've started their 4th lap now, and we see a bit of a gap starting to form between Adam and Morgan Davey. It looks like Corey Hackey's just dropped off the back of... Oh no, Corey Hack has just dropped off the back of Morgan Davey a little bit. Now he's under pressure from Lucky in P8. And it looked like Lucky almost went for a move there on Corey Hack, but
Lucky would be getting frustrated, I think, because Corey Hack's car's bouncing around on the road a bit here, so he hasn't got a confidence in where the car actually is. It makes it really hard when you're following. You're trying to make a clean pass, but the car in front's skipping side to side.
Yeah, one of the limitations of virtual racing is we have to deal with servers and internet connections, but it happened again. It just keeps happening. It looks like he goes wide at that hairpin, and then I realise it's just the lag. It's Lucky a little bit wide there, actually. He holds onto it for now, but keeps it in a straight line. That grass on the outside of that turn 12 corner, or in between 12 and 13, is not what you want to get on at all. That grass, it just pulls you to the outside, and there's no runoff at all. It's just a large field of grass, and you just, even like the grass doesn't pull you up at all, and you just keep careering into that wall. It's very hard to keep it out of the wall if you do end up going off at that section of track. As we see, Corey Hack is close all the way up to Morgan Davey now, only 0.3 between them, but it looks like Morgan Davey's got the straight line speed on that Corvette compared to the Mercedes, and Lucky, he had half a sniff up the inside of Corey Hack, but pulled out at the last minute. And we'll just have a look up front to GTR, Andrew and Nux. They are on current podium, and closely behind is Ricky Bobby and Atom, who completes your top 5 for now. And at the moment, the sun is out and shining. Not a hint of rain, but we do have 3 times weather enabled. So anything could happen.
That wind speed's starting to get up as well. It's up to 2.1 now. So it's starting to push the weather in from the south. I don't know whether we're going to get any rain or not. I don't know. Full random tonight, guys. So it's up to the game whether we get rain or not.
Yeah, and the wind's just changed direction slightly. It's sort of pointing to a northwesterly at the moment. It was a southerly wind, but it just slightly changed its direction. So maybe things are starting to stir about. Maybe rain could be on the way. We don't know. Only 10 minutes into this race, still 40 minutes to go. So anything could happen.
I'm just on a trail cam at the moment behind TX3's car, just having a bit of a look around. I can't see any heavy cloud cover coming from any direction. Spotted clouds off to the north. We're obviously already gone over. It's down towards the south. It's pretty clear still, so we might be okay.
Yeah, but located in a tropical climate, this track in the south of Japan, the conditions can change with the snap of a finger. It's just how it is, the way the weather works in this part of the world. But yeah, looking very, very calm at the moment.
It's getting a bit spicy here for third now. Nux is just starting to struggle a little bit with some front tyre wear. I saw that car in the lock light there as I was trying to turn in. Ricky Bobby's just starting to stick the nose in there now.
Yeah, and he's dropped off the back of Distinct Andrew and GTR about 3 seconds now, the gap. So yeah, maybe Nux, to get himself into that position in the first place in qualifying, just has a setup that isn't the kindest on the tyres, but
I think he's made a bit of a mistake on lap 5 there. He did a 48 flat against 47.3 there for Andrew in front of him, and a 47.6 for Ricky Bobby behind him, so he's lost half a second there somewhere.
Yeah, for sure, as they come through into turn 13. The sweeper, the right-hand sweeper of turn 13.
No, Lucky's had an issue. He's dropped off the back of the pack.
Oh no, that is not what you want if you're Lucky.
Corey Hack's had one too because he's 7th now. Oh no, sorry, no, he's right. He's
he's right on the back of Morgan David. We could see him move anytime now, but the problem is that Corvette can hook it up in a straight line, and the Mercedes, it's probably the polar opposites in terms of straight line speed. So getting past is going to be a difficult feat for Corey Hack, and then trying to keep Morgan Davey behind is another question entirely.
Does he run on here into turn 1? Ricky Bobby going to have a look at Knuckles? No, he doesn't. He just pulls it up.
And it looks like Corey Hack, he's going for the move on Morgan Davick. No, oh, is there contact? Oh, there was contact. Oh, that's massive, and he edges him wide. Oh.
Got the kind of person who would be doing that too, Corey.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something there. We'll just have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay at that. I'm not too sure whether there was actually contact as they barreled towards turn 1.
Oh,
maybe it was a bit of lag, and he's just sort of. Oh, it looked like he hit the back of him, or maybe Morgan Davick just went a bit wide, but.
Side by side for P3 at the moment.
It looks like Ricky Bobby's got him, and now Adam's joining the party. It's all on as Nux goes down the inside. But is Ricky Bobby going to cut him narrow? Looks like he is. And this is some spectacular racing. Look at this for P3. These guys, they're going neck to neck. And it looks like it's just sorted itself out now. Oh, Ricky Bobby. Very wide, holds on to it. But now these guys are bumper to bumper. Absolutely incredible racing as they fly through the final sector now. This is the part where the Mercedes has superiority on the track. And it looks like the Viper sort of has the edge over the Aston Martin as well, as Adam sticking right on the tail of Nux there. Only a 2/10 or a 1/10.5 separates those guys. Just a 10th, and it looks like Adam, he was thinking about a move as Ricky Bobby skips away a second now. So Ricky Bobby is free, and he's in the podium position. This is some incredible stuff. Could we see Adam make a move on Nux? The gap is 2/10. But no, not close enough on this occasion from Adam as they sweep through the first turn and come through the light right-hand kink of turn 2 into turn 3. Another great overtaking opportunity, but it looks like Nux has that car hooked up in a straight line, and Adam is unable to get the move done this time round. We'll just have a look up front to GTR and Distinct Andrew. That gap just sticking to about 5/6 gap. It's sort of stayed that way the entire race. So 13.5 minutes into this race. Could we get a update on tyres and fuel? Good Doc?
Yeah. So TX3's got just got a half a tank of fuel, and his tyres are about a third of the way down. Andrew is about the same. Ricky Bobby is better on both tyres and fuel. Nux better on fuel and tyres are about the same. His fronts especially. His back's not too bad. Adam is 2/3 of a tank on fuel, and tyres are about a quarter of the way down. Corey Hack better again, and then the Corvettes, Aston Martin towards the back are all pretty even. And Lucky's in the pits.
Yeah, so maybe Lucky's. Oh, he's not changing the tyres. Maybe that's him saying he gives up.
Might be something wrong with his gear.
Not too sure, but that's a retirement from the Lucky's lawn care racing team owner. He had some good pace during the practice through the week, so he won't be too happy with a retirement here at Autopolis at all. And that gap between GTR and Stink Andrew just opening up to about 8, 9 tenths at the moment.
You're getting some cloud cover now, guys.
Yeah, it's still very bright, but yeah, it could be coming. Could be coming.
There's some spotty cloud off to the east there, just onto the left-hand side of the front straight. Heading down towards turn 1, it's getting fairly dark. Top side of the circle where we are now, though, still pretty clean and pretty dry. Oh, we might start getting a sprinkle down towards turn 1 though shortly by the looks of those clouds. I don't know if these guys are watching their weather radar or not, or whether they're just racing.
As we see a wide shot as they come down this straight now, we get a bit of a look at the clouds. And yeah, it's starting to roll in. It's still very thin cloud coverage, but as we said earlier, the tropical climate here at Autopolis could mean that the rain could come at any moment and just stay on edge. So I reckon as soon as these guys start to see the weather, like the clouds starting to roll in, and I reckon they're going to be switching across to their weather radars straight away. Just keeping tabs on the outmost gauge that they can.
Coming down the front straight, you're looking straight at it. There's a big dark cloud there, just off to the left of the circuit. Wind still coming directly at them down the front straight as well, so we'll be blowing in from that general direction. Even if the rain doesn't come, it's enough to make you a bit uncomfortable seeing a big cloud like that.
Yeah, and the track temperature is going to really cool off as well if the clouds cover the sun, and that could make it slippery in itself and make the guys a bit uncomfortable. Just shake up the pecking order and lap times.
Ideally, if the rain does come, you want to be coming through Sector 3 at the time of the rain hitting. That way you can zip into the pits and get your tyres on. You do not want to be going down the front straight or into Sector 1. So we caught a lot of the guys out in the Division 3 race where they got past the pit entry before they realised how wet it was.
Yeah, and Corey Hack is bouncing around a lot, like so much. But
Adam has a look at Knuckles.
Oh!
He's backed out of that a little bit there, so I think he was just in the back of Knuckles a little bit there. He just got out of it. You know, self-redress there from Adam, which is good to see.
Yeah, Corey Hack has just opened up a bit of a gap to Morgan Davey, about 4 seconds now, and we look back further. Karen Unleashed is under pressure from Hellraiser at the moment.
They're having a good little race, those two. We kept an eye on that.
Yeah, exactly. These guys... Oh!
Hellraiser!
Hellraiser barely holding on to it, just drops a little bit off the back of Karen Unleashed at the moment. Try and have a look at that on the instant replay as we have a look as they come through turn 13, and he's just got on that grass. As I was saying earlier, that grass is very deadly in between turns 12 and 13. But
coming in for fourth. Adam goes through on the inside,
and does he get him this time? He does get it done. So that's some good stuff from Adam to get that move done. But Knuckles is going to have another look at him coming down into turn 3. No, he doesn't. He just sits behind. Knuckles probably thinking about the long game at this stage in the race. So we'll see what we caught on the action replay of that move. We caught a bit of it. So he just sets himself up, goes down the inside, and textbook move from Atom there. Gets himself into P4.
He's going to go after Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, sort of bridging a little bit of a gap to Nux behind already.
Time for the leader, guys.
Oh. But yeah, so Distinct Andrew right up under the rear wing of GTR. How are these guys doing on fuel?
Fuel's not too bad, but their tyres are severely compromised, especially the fronts. These guys are all struggling with over half worn front tyres now. And
yeah, this track, lots of sweeping bends, so your front tyres are going to get worn significantly more on average than your rears. Three-tenths the gap now. As it seems like everybody's just bouncing around a little bit, not too much, but maybe there's an event on in the GT world tonight or something. But that cloud coverage looking very dark and menacing over the first sector. As Ricky Bobby, sitting in third position now, has a 2-second gap to Adam behind and 5 seconds to the leaders up front. And Adam sort of bridged a bit of a gap to Nux, sitting in P5 at the moment. And Corey Hack, he was 4 seconds behind a few laps ago, but now just 1.5 seconds off Nux. So maybe the battling has sort of brought him back into this, just enough that he has half a hope now.
That cloud cover is starting to get really thick, guys. You watch them when they come around into the front straight. You watch the south side of the circuit. I can see some really dark clouds starting to form off there to the left-hand side of the front straight. And again, down in towards the bottom of Sector 3, at the south side of the circuit there, it's getting awfully dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Still got full sun though, which is an interesting thing. So they're right under a clear spot at the moment for most of the circuit.
Yeah, these guys will be looking at their radars, hoping that everything goes well.
They're going to try and run their tyres long. I reckon they'll try and get in once and once only for wets.
Yeah, normally this race would be a one-stop in the dry conditions, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
They're getting right to that tipping point now where they're going to have to go in sooner or later because their tyres are just cooking at the moment.
Yeah, 21 minutes into this race as GTR crosses the line to start lap 13. Ricky Bobby holding the gap behind the leaders at about 5.5 seconds, keeping them to their own.
Missed through Sector 1 now, look.
Starting to get a little bit dark and gloomy. The drivers can see what we can't. They have their weather radars inside of the car.
Yeah, I can't see. No one's got the weather radar up as far as I can see. Everyone's on track mode, so I don't reckon I'm getting any live pictures from the vehicles.
Yeah.
I remember on Sport when you had the HUD up, you could see what they were looking at on their menu, but I can't see anything else.
Yeah, I think it's the same in 7, but it's a bit glitchy and sometimes it just selects a random screen, but I think that was the intended purpose, but, you know.
It'd be awfully nice if I could flick through it now on the HUD for them while I'm watching it. That way I could just have a bit of a look. It's starting to get very dark to the south side of the circuit. I can see mist in the hills.
As something's happened to Atom here, he's actually been overtaken by Corey Hack.
Yeah, he did 51.4 last lap.
Yeah, and Nux has fallen back to Corey Hack as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was just Adam that fell off because Nux times haven't changed.
Yeah, he did a 49.1s. He's just battling tyre wear. I think his front tyres are especially cooked.
And then Corey Hack has got this Mercedes on rails, very consistent.
Corey Hack's got amazing tyre wear.
Yeah, the entire timing screen is just filled up with 48s. So very quick at the moment from Corey Hack, doing a brilliant job in P5. And he looks like he's going to get a move on Nux.
Adam's in. Adam's the first to blink.
If
we get a downpour now, these guys are in trouble because they're on really worn tyres. They won't be able to stop.
Yeah, it's getting very dark into turn 1.
Yeah, headlights have come on now for vehicles as well, which is a sign that the rain's coming. Andrew's cars are lit up like a Christmas tree in the background there. I'm just on board in Andrew's car at the moment to see what he can see from the cockpit. I think Womble's rain dance is going to work. It shows the difference though in the two lobbies though. The other lobby, when did the rain come in the other lobby? After the pit stop, wasn't it?
No, it was 20 minutes in, or 15, 18 minutes I believe it came in.
Well, we're at 24 minutes in this one, and I hadn't seen rain all day in this lobby yet, so.
Yeah, very dark and gloomy at Autopolis in the Division 1 race at the moment. Very, very dark. I think rain could be on the way shortly. Just they're coming through the final sector. Very, very dark and gloomy.
I reckon the pit crews are out there in the lane now, just got their hands up on the edges, trying to figure out where the rain's coming. These guys, Texas going to pull the trick. Andrew's going to go with him. So they're in.
Oh! I think that was a bit of netcode, but I thought I saw GTR absolutely whack the wall.
Ricky Bobby's rolling the dice to go round. Corey Huck's going to go in. Nux is in. So Ricky Bobby's rolling the dice here.
Yeah.
So Ricky Bobby would now be doing a rain dance on the inside of his car, praying for rain. These guys all come out in softs and he gets around one more time and it rains. He's in the box seat.
It gets very dark before it rains in this game, but it is looking very dark.
Morgan Davies gone around again, Karen's gone around again, Hellraiser's gone around again. These guys are all banking on rain. TX3's come out in 5th position.
Ooh, they're going to be held up a bit by Hellraiser, I
Yeah.
reckon. So, I reckon Andrew's in a good position here behind GTR.
Ricky Bobby's in pretty good shape here. He's 12 seconds clear of everybody.
As Corey Hack, oh, the lag, it keeps getting to me. I keep thinking, oh, Corey Hack's gone wide. No.
Okay,
no.
TX3's going to make his way through the field here. He's trying to get through quickly. These guys don't have to move for him. They probably will, but they don't have to.
Yeah, it looks like Hellraiser just let him pass, but I think it was more the tyres, the tyre difference.
Yeah, Karen will probably jump out of the way as well. He's not really going to cover him off. He's not really racing him, so he'll get out of the way as he does. Around the outside there, good move there
Andrew
from
gets
Karen.
past Hellraiser as well in the background, and
Karen will move over him too. He does.
That's good sportsmanship.
Yep. Off you
They're
go, lads,
entitled
he says.
to race him, but they don't.
He knows he's not in a race with those guys. He's, they're racing for the lead of the race. He's towards the back of the pack. You just stay out of the way and do his own thing.
Ricky Bobby comes around the final corner, and he goes around again. So he's really preying on this rain.
He's got the tyres in the field to do it though. The car's in good shape. He's actually better off in tyres still than the guys that went in first. So he's not in a bad spot. He's actually extended his lead slightly over Morgan Davey. He's 20 seconds in front of TX3, so if the rain does come, he's just going to be walking this. I'll tell you what though, that darkness is starting to go away again.
It's starting to lighten up a bit.
The south side of the circuit's looking pretty clear again. It's awfully dark over the north, but that's oh, TX3 had an issue. He just locked through turn 1.
Ooh.
Andrew goes through.
So Andrew is provisional first position at the moment.
Yeah. That was a rare mistake from TX3. They just had a lock.
Does GTR use ABS?
Yes. Light is flashing.
So it looks like that
Oh,
gap.
Nux off.
Oh, that's massive. Oh no. So Nux is going to absolutely tumble down the order now. That is not what he wants at all. With 20 minutes remaining in this race, and he finds himself in P8 after the pit stop. He has pit, hasn't he? He's on fresh.
Yeah, he's pit, yeah.
Yeah. And the track, it's lightening up again
The sun's
now.
back out, yeah. I think we might have got away without a rain shower, guys. Ricky Bobby's sitting there going, well, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, think about it now. He's going to have the massive overcut in the end of the stint, and Morgan Davey, you would imagine, would follow him now that the sun's back out. You would imagine he'd go in. Let's see what Morgan Davey does. Yes, he does peel into pits, and inheriting the lead is Distinct Andrew. He'll take the lead from Ricky Bobby. Now the question is, where does Ricky Bobby come out of the pit?
Still fueling that car.
And he comes out, and he's Adam's going to have him.
Oh, he's going to lose 4. He's going to lose 3rd, I think.
Oh, no. Oh, he's got enough. Oh, it's going to be tight. Oh, he holds on to it.
He has
That's
drifted
some
a little
good
bit,
stuff.
though. He's drifted back to Adam a bit. So he's lost
How are they
space for the
doing?
leaders.
How are they doing fuel-wise though? Ricky Bobby and Adam.
2/3 of a tank between them.
So they've both got the same. So Ricky Bobby's going to have the massive tyre advantage. They've pit 4 laps apart, these guys. Hang on, let me count. 1, 2.
It's a 10-second gap,
yeah.
though. That's a huge gap.
I'm more talking about... Oh, he does. And he gets it done. But, oh, Andrew on switchback maybe? No, he doesn't quite get the run out of the corner. So that's some good stuff from GTR. We'll have a quick look back on the Next Level Racing action replay. And it looks like, yeah, he just dives down the inside into turn 11. And that's good stuff from TX3 GTR. Finds himself back into the lead of this race.
He pulled first gear to pull it up too there. So he was committed to try and stop it.
As they fly through The final series of corners, turn 18 this one, this large right-hand sweeper comes through, and what's the time going to be as they cross the line here? Oh, that is rapid! 46 flat for GTR on race pace. Oh, wow.
That's disgusting.
That's a second. That's 1.2 seconds ahead of Distinct Andrew alone on that last lap. Absolutely rapid stuff. And now he's going to be in conserve mode as he's 2.5 tenths down on his the blistering lap time he just set. What time did he set? He set a 45.9 in qualifying, didn't he? So that's almost as good as his qualifying lap in race pace.
The car's a bit lighter at the moment. It's got just over half a tank of fuel in it, so it's probably as fast as it'll ever be.
As we see Ricky Bobby in 3rd position, he's sort of just holding that gap to Atom behind. About 7 tenths it is at the moment. Adam won't want to give up hope on this podium just yet, but yeah, Ricky Bobby doing an excellent job so far in P3. And Corey Hack in P5. He's 3 seconds off the back of Adam. And Nux. So Nux had that spin, and he now finds himself 10 seconds away from where he was before said spin. So for Nux now, this is more of a recovery drive or damage limitation rather than maximum points. But also a little bit out of character from Nux. He does enjoy his tuning and stuff, and he gets it right most of the time. But yeah, just a bit of a rare mistake from Nux, and he finds himself P6 on the road, 20 odd seconds behind the leader, but doing a good job today, Nux. Morgan Davey in 7th as well. I believe he started 7th, so not the same commanding drive that he had at Trial Mountain, unfortunately for Morgan Davey, but yeah, having a good race on his own, that is.
Don't think the Corvette's very happy around here though.
Yeah, it seems like the big American cars, more so the Corvette than the Viper, it just seems to struggle with understeer issues. It might feel a bit like a boat around here, whereas the handling cars, like the European ones, they seem to handle it a bit better. The tight and technical sections of this track, such as the first section and last section of the track. So Hellraiser in P8, I believe he started P9, so making up one handy position, and Karen finds himself in P9, sitting about 2.5 seconds off the back of Hellraiser. And V8 XW Falcon, he's just having a quiet race. He's just plugging along, here for the thrills, and yeah, I don't think he's given too much practice here this week, because normally, if he has given a lot of practice, he is right at the pointy end, and we've seen that in previous seasons and previous races. He is very quick, but just finds himself off the back of the pack in this one at the moment. So yeah, and we look back up to...
I've just seen some telltale clouds off to the south of the circuit here, guys, so you never know, we might still get a sprinkle yet. It's looking awfully dark out there again.
Yeah.
I've actually just noticed that the sun's just disappeared completely. It's got really dark very quickly, actually.
Yeah, this is similar to what happened in the Div 3 race. Like, it was bright, and then all of a sudden it just came down.
Those clouds coming in really quickly, actually. They're just now watching them. They're building very quickly. I noticed now the Viper's got its headlights on in the mirror as well.
Yeah, you never know. We could have rain on the way. 15 minutes remaining in this race.
We may finish under the wet conditions, I think, maybe, because that's getting dark very quickly now.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot quicker than it did first time. These guys will be not overly impressed by seeing this now, that they want to see it finish the race under dry conditions now that they've already pitted. They don't want to have to stop again.
particularly GTR. As we said earlier, it looks like he's got a very aggressive setup, and aggressive setups do not work in the wet.
Tell you what though, you'd be pushing hard now though if you think the rain's coming. You want to get some enough speed and get a bit of a gap under dry conditions. If you're going to run these sides into the ground anyway, you might as well just do it.
Big moment. It looks like is Distinct Andrew going to get the position?
Yeah,
it looks like GTR's offline coming through here, so he's under fire now.
He caught that bit of ripple strip, I think, and just bumped the back of the car up in the air. That's that loose setup we're talking about.
Lots of mist in the first sector. Is he close enough? No, he is not close enough. Distinct Andrew. He just slots in behind with time. TX3 GTR, but he's right up on the bumper. Yeah, a tenth, a tenth, 2 tenths, 3. Okay. I got lost there. I forgot how to say a tenth and 4 hundredths as they come through the hairpin of turn 8 now. And sweeper of turn 9, and Distinct Andrew looking so menacing.
You can see the Aston's actually starting to struggle now. I think the temperature's dropped a little bit on the circuit because he's just, you can see the back end's just getting really loose, and the Viper just looks nice and planted at the moment.
Very gloomy at Autopolis. And we can see in the rear mirror of TX3 GTR, Distinct Andrew with his yellow Viper with the headlights blaring behind. Very dystopian, apocalyptic feeling to the race at the moment. Rounding turn 17 is GTR in both the mirrors. Andrew is just trying to fill up GTR's mirrors as much as he can. Just stick there and hope that he makes a mistake. GTR already made a rare mistake on the previous lap, but they continue on as it looks like the mountains are clearing up again. So I think the rain isn't coming on this occasion, but
it's just teasing them a bit at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, as they come through turn 1 and turn 2, we can see blue skies up ahead, so
it's looking ominous down towards the end of turn 1, but then the backside of the circuit looks pretty good. Like Sector 2 especially looking not too bad at all.
As we'll do a run through the order again, so it's GTR, Andrew in 2nd, Ricky Bobby 3rd, Atom in 4th, just fallen off the back of Ricky Bobby a bit, maybe struggling for tyres, as Ricky Bobby did pit very, very late compared to the rest of the pack. Corey Hack in 5th, Nux in 6th. He's also lost touch to Corey Hack a bit and lost a little bit of time to Morgan Davey, who's closed up. 4-second gap to Morgan Davey now in 7th position, and Hellraiser in 8th, Karen Unleashed in 9th, and V8XW Falcon in 10th position. So all around shaping up to be a pretty good race as we see it definitely lightening up again, and just looking over the mountains more, maybe there's 1 or 2 dark clouds still lingering over turn 1, but
it's pretty thick at the backside, down the south of the circuit. It's pretty thick at the moment, and off there to the like the northeast as well, past the circuit, it's awfully black as well. So
yeah,
might be going around us. You look off to the south of the circuit. So you go down the front straight, look off to the right. It's just awfully black down there. Yeah.
And Andrew just sort of dropping off the back of GTR just a little bit, maybe sitting about 6/10 off the back, but 10 minutes remaining, anything can happen. I reckon Andrew will be definitely looking forward to a second consecutive win for the season, as we see the headlights of Distinct Andrew turn off, so that basically confirms Well, we already knew that the clouds are rolling off and away. So it's sort of teasing us a bit, as you said earlier. Rain, no rain, a little bit of cloud coverage, you know. But yeah, it seems like it's going to stay dry for the remainder of this race for the moment. As we see Ricky Bobby opening up about a little bit more of a gap. So I say at him, it stands at 1.8 seconds at the moment. So doing a pretty good job. Ricky Bobby finds himself in 3rd position. He started 4th, I believe. So absolutely ripper of a race from Ricky Bobby. Finds himself on the podium with only 8.5 minutes remaining. So, and Atom in 4th as a stand-in for Noodles. We already knew he was a very competent driver, but Atom being out of the car for a while and then just jumping in and driving it to P4 is a massive feat in of itself. As he crosses the line, he's still got some good pace of 47.6 on that last lap, same as Ricky Bobby of 47.6. Almost the exact same time, 100th of a second in it between those two. And we see, Distinct Andrew and GTR setting the same time. So these top 4 all setting the same time of a 47.6. And then Corey Hack just slowing off, and it goes sort of downhill past that. But yeah, Morgan Davey not having a good day in the office today. I think the track doesn't suit his car very much, so he's just plugging along, and will take the points for 7th position if he finishes where he is at the moment. So good stuff from Morgan Davey. But keep on keeping on. So do we have a tyre and fuel update at the moment, good dog?
The front two are about exactly the same, both on a quarter of a tank. Ricky Bobby's on a quarter of a tank of fuel, but much better tyres. Adam's a little bit under a quarter of a tank. Corey Hack is about a third of a tank. He's got heaps of fuel on board. And Nux is about the same. His front tyres again are completely cooked.
Fair enough. So Ricky Bobby, if he was a bit closer to the front guys, he could have been on for even a potential win maybe, but
yeah,
that's something to think about for next week. If you're good at saving your tyres and fuel, the overcut does seem to work. Just something to keep in mind. He kept it out for 3 more laps than the guys behind, so could be something to keep in the back of your mind if you're a Div 4 or Div 2 driver and thinking about working in an alternate strategy into your race plan. Also, you need to keep in mind the rain could be on its way next week as well, like you saw in the Div 3 race. So if it does rain, that basically throws all strategy out the window, and it's just whoever can keep it on the track for the longest amount of time. But
I think these guys are quietly happy that it didn't rain. Maybe Morgan likes the rain, so he would have been a bit upset that it hasn't rained yet.
Yeah, Morgan, he likes a bit of more the slippery conditions or a slippery car, so yeah, it would have suited him well.
We don't particularly want to see the rain now with 5 minutes to go. That'd be a bit ordinary.
Then again, tropical climate, anything's possible.
It's cleared right up now. I think we're going to be pretty safe, guys.
Yeah, it'll take 5 minutes for the clouds to roll in, let alone rain.
Yeah. So Adam's going to have to, Andrew's going to have to get it done now. Just on a dry track, he can't wait for the wet weather to unseat TX3. He's going to have to go after him himself. Now these two guys are both suffering with massive tyre wear at the moment.
It's sort of similar to two drunks in a boxing ring. They're both tired and both struggling for grip, but they're still throwing punches at each other until the end. As we see Andrews and GTR, they've set the first 48 lap times of the stint, and we see, Ricky Bobby's setting that time as well. Yeah, so it seems like they've all leached into the 48s so far. So
Morgan Davis going to run out of fuel.
How much fuel's he got on board?
He's on the light.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
So he asked how many laps the Division 3 guys did, and they told him they did 26 laps, which they did, but nobody took into account the fact they did several laps that took like 2.5 minutes in the rain. So
Yeah, that's... So he's been stitched up.
yeah, it's a bit, yeah. So he's going to run out of fuel.
It's just the deeds fuelman.
Well, TX3 is just struggling on the brakes now. That car starts to walk. Andrew's just setting him up. He's probably going to get one shot at this, to be honest. He's only going to get one try. He doesn't have the tyres to really chase him for multiple laps, so he's going to have to set him up and make one decisive move. So these guys are both struggling for rubber. They don't have the grip to start fighting each other properly.
It might be the last opportunity he gets at the as they come into the start-finish straight.
You'd be setting yourself up out of this corner up here, and you just get a good run onto the straight. Just set yourself up for turn 1. TX2 should be onto that though, and should be running down the inside of the track to block him off. Andrew just brakes nice and early. He's going to get the car straight and just get on the gas and hope that the Viper can get out of the corner well. That Aston Martin is not slow in a straight line. Gap is coming down, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. It's half a second still.
Definitely not enough. As they come down into turn 1, I think if you're Andrew, your best bet at the moment is to just hope that GTR makes a mistake. But we're talking about a 3-time Sector 1 champion here. Mistakes don't come often.
Andrew's on the fuel light as well now. So is Ricky Bobby. So is Adam.
Yeah, 2 laps left, so we'll see how it shapes up by the time they come around for the final lap. For the moment, that gap between Andrew and GTR just still sitting about 6/10. It's more or less stayed that way the entirety of this race, which is rather incredible between these two guys.
Look at that, not a cloud in the sky now, guys.
Very hazy though, very hazy. As the gap between Ricky Bobby and Adam at the moment just opens up to 2 seconds for the moment, and Corey Hack, he's closed up the gap by about half a second to Adam. Oh, and I think Corey Hack, the timer just went a little bit weird then. It closed up rapidly and then expanded a lot, so maybe just a bit of a moment from Corey Hack, but as I was saying, he's closed up about half a second to ASR Adam, but it's definitely not going to be enough. 5th position for Corey Hack, he'll definitely be happy with that regardless. It's a great drive from Corey Hack.
Right, these guys are going into the last lap. Minute to go.
This could be the last opportunity Andrew gets to make a move on GTR, but it looks like it's going to be in vain as the gap is larger than it was last time they came around this part of the track. 6/10 the gap now, 7/10 actually. It looks like Andrew just made a bit of a mistake into the entry, but really closing up the gap now. It's going to be incredible if he gets this move pulled off, but it might be in vain at the moment.
I just don't see where he can do it.
His best bet would be into turn 11 or into turn 12. You have big, large, high-speed areas, but you're going to want to hope that GTR messes up this corner right here, which by the looks of it doesn't look like he has. He's got it perfectly on the throttle, and yeah, Andrew's way behind. He hasn't got the best of exits, and I think now with an 8/10 gap, even if GTR got a bad exit out of 11, still way too far away to try and get a move done. Yeah, 8.5 tenths. GTR just needs to nail this final sector, and he'll take home his 2nd race win of the Sector 1 Supercars Division 1 Championship. Just a few more corners now. He has 6 more corners left that separates him from his 1st position. As comes through turn 15 and 16 at the moment. Yeah, that gap almost out to a second for Andrew. Is he struggling with fuel or something?
Yeah, he's right on the light. He's going to run out. Probably into turn 1, I reckon.
Andrew rounds the final corner, and this is the final lap, and he comes to cross the line, takes the 2nd win of the Sector One Supercars, the championship, and Distinct Andrew in second, and coming home in third position for Obsession Motorsport. Ricky Bobby takes P3, followed by ASR Adam, the super stand-in, P4. Corey Hack, P5. Brilliant job from him. Bit of a quiet race, but he's done the job and finds himself taking the win. So great stuff from him. As we see Nux crossing line in P6, a bit of a mistake. So Hellraiser will come home to take 7th. That'll give him loads of confidence. As he's had a slow start to the season, but yeah, takes the win. I mean, not the win, takes 7th position. As we see Morgan Davey crawl towards the line, get some deserved TV time. Flashing his lights. There we go, good spirit from Morgan Davey as he crosses the line in P8. So that's some brilliant stuff from everybody involved. Some good racing. A little bit disappointing the rain didn't come, but I mean, it was good. It was a good race. Love to see it. Some good action up and down the grid. Some great overtakes. And
Adam and Andrew both out of fuel. It was a good race for the lead. Those two guys put on a good show for the entirety of the race.
Yeah, it just seemed like things settled down after the pit stop, honestly. Like, yeah, it was interesting, that's for sure. As
well, it was certainly a close race. It was it was only a second between them at the end, which it was about the longest that gap was for the entire race. And I think that they were looking towards the hills a bit more, towards that sort of last part of the race. We were looking for the weather, so that probably played a bit of a factor in some of the guys dropping back down off the pace.
As we got to wait the whole 3 minutes because Lucky prematurely left the lobby. But as we look to the podium celebrations now, as TX3 GTR converts a 2nd position into a race win tonight, and he'll be very happy with the extra points that brings in his pursuit for his 4th Sector 1 title. So brilliant stuff from GTR, and congrats to Ragged Edge for taking yet another Sector 1 top flight win. So who do you think your driver of the day is? Good Doc for that one. Ricky Bobby. I'm giving it to Ricky Bobby. That was an absolutely incredible race from Ricky Bobby.
If the rain had come, he would have been miles in front.
Exactly. Yeah, Ricky Bobby, he got the strategy perfectly. And something to think about for the Div 4 and Div 2 guys is the overcut. As Ricky Bobby just proved to us, it does work if you're gentle on your tyres and fuel. And he did exactly that and drove it home to a beautiful podium. So, yeah, good stuff from Ricky Bobby. We'll see what people are saying in the chat. So, yeah, everyone's saying Ricky Bobby for driver of the day. Yeah, I think that's all I see, actually. Do we have any other suggestions for driver of the day viewers for everybody watching? Well, we'll give people a second to type, but yeah, that was a thoroughly enjoyable night of racing. Honestly, it was great stuff. Kept us on edge in that Division 1 race, whether the rain was going to come or not. We had no idea whether it was, but in the end, ultimately, just ended up staying away. It was teasing us for a large portion of the race. So, yeah, and at the moment, we have in the commentary box Karen Unleashed, who was the driver of one of the Deeds Corvettes. You there, Karen?
Yeah, here I am. How did the race go, guys?
It was good, yeah. It was good to watch. And you must be happy with that result.
Well, I didn't crash, so that's the best thing. But yeah, no, it all looked good, and had to try and get out of the way of the battle with TX3 and Andrew for a second there because we were on different strategies. It was a good fight with Hellraiser, Coldbringer or whatever it is. But apart from that, yeah, it was great. And just a quick question: did Morgan run out of fuel?
Yes.
Typical Deeds driver. He'll get a pay rise because I nearly done the same.
Yeah, somebody told him.
He asked before the race how many laps Division 3 did, and they told him they did 26 laps. So he's fueled for 26 laps, not realising that half the race in Div 3 was in wet, and they were doing like 2.5 minute laps.
Oh no! And
So you guys went to like 28 laps.
Yeah, and we even did our mid-race practice runs and all that through the week as well, and we gave him the information he needed and still ran out of fuel, so I'm quite proud of him as a team owner for doing that. He's just kept the Deeds tradition going, and yeah, if I didn't cross the line with a second to go, I probably would have followed him around for a bit.
Yeah, lucky that he only lost one position as he was the last driver to cross the line. It could have been a lot worse if the timer had just been maybe 30 seconds difference from where it actually finished. So
It worked out pretty well for Hellraiser.
Yeah,
He was yeah, I don't think it couldn't have been any tighter between him and I for the whole race. I think for 25 minutes, half an hour, he was just smack bang in my rear view mirror, no less than a second behind the whole time. We were both fuel saving like mad to try and make an advantage, but yeah, I don't think I've ever had someone stick on my rear end like that for as long as that. It was, to be honest, I was surprised I didn't make a mistake or we didn't have any contact because it, yeah, I'll tell you what, I owe that guy a beer because, yeah, that was great racing. Might have to check out the stream as well. From what I saw, Andrew and TX3, that was what, well, just over a second between the two after 50 minutes of racing. And I'll tell you what, if someone's going to bring the fight to TX3, Andrew's definitely the guy. We know what he's capable of through the world of GT, and he's shown that he's got what it takes definitely to ruffle it up with our reigning champ.
yeah,
that was about as big as that gap got too.
Oh, bloody hell, really?
Yeah, the whole race about half a second apart.
Oh, jeez. Well,
And
something's got to give between them two.
Andrew's car ran out of juice and tyres towards the end, so he backed off a little bit at the end, but
Oh, gee whiz. Well, I reckon, yeah, Divs 2 and 4 are going to have a very tough act to follow by the looks of it.
So we're just getting official word from Morgan as well. He says he was 100%, 110% counting on the rain in that race, but
Yeah. I think half
unluckily,
of us were.
yeah,
It
it
teased
got
us a bit,
very
didn't it?
very dark and gloomy twice there. But no rain.
It looked on the radar like we were just, like, it started getting dark the first time, like, oh, nah, there's a bit in the distance, it doesn't look like it's going to rain. Check the radar, sure enough, nothing. The second time around, I'm like, oh god, it's actually going to, like, pelt down. And I was too busy focused on, whoever was in front of me, Hellraiser, and, yeah, the rain never came. I think, yeah, at least, I reckon half the field would have been wanting the rain to drop to really spice things up.
Yeah, it would have worked out brilliantly for Ricky Bobby as well, because he tried the overcut and never came. It brightened up by the time he took his stop, so...
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
He was quick all weekend. He set fantastic practice laps, and in qualifying obviously backed it up, and seems to really found a home in that Mercedes. Looks very, very sharp indeed. Coming into the latter part of the season, it's going to be very... very intense with that mid-pack battle with Nux and Ricky Bobby. Corey Hack's up and about now by the looks of it too.
Yeah, something to look out for next week when we have the Div 4 and Div 2 guys. The Mercedes are very quick around here by the looks of things. You had Gracis and Daz in the Div 3 race, who were right on the money with their qualifying and stuff, and then in the Div 1 race you had Ricky Bobby and Corey Hack, who are absolutely flying in their Mercs. So yeah, something to watch out for next week. It seems like the Mercs are the best car on this track, or at least the most improved from the other tracks, that is.
Oh well, that's worrying signs for the rest of the field for next week.
Exactly, so...
Better get some practice in, boys. Oh, well, not you, Lenocis, you're driving in a SLS anyway, but Lucas?
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know what the Jag can do because no one drives a Jag in these two divisions.
Yeah. Who else drives the Jag? Filthy drives the Jag in Div 3, doesn't he?
Yeah,
And is that it, or...?
he didn't run tonight.
No. was meaning to say that during the Div 3 race. Yeah, we were missing Filthy as well, but yeah, we're missing quite a few in the Div 3 race, but is what it is. And they gave us a good show regardless, same as the Div 1 race. That was a good night of racing. Seems like we've got the divisions bang on this season, and some good racing between everyone involved. So, yeah. Any last remarks, gentlemen?
Oh, just thanks to everybody for jumping on tonight and tuning in and taking time out of their Sunday night to continue to support us. It's great to see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to get in on the sim racing Sector 1 action, click the link below this video, and it will take you to our official Discord server where you can chat. We have a great community, great bunch of guys who all have a love for motorsport. And we do it every week. Next week, we are back here at Autopolis in South Japan for the Div 2 and Div 4 round 3 of the Sector 1 Supercars Championship. So looking forward to that. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Anything else in the comments, guys? Just ask away, and we'll see if we can try to get to it before we end the stream. I know there's a bit of a delay on the stream to when you guys actually ask them, but you know.
I tell you what though, speaking of which, 5 AM, Formula 1, Brazil, the full race, and oh boy, that's going to be a spicy little meatball by the looks of it.
Yeah, George Russell on pole.
Oh. And Lewis Hamilton will start P2, and Carlos Sainz has got a 5 grid place penalty, which means Max Verstappen goes up to P3, and I reckon, knowing how quick that Red Bull is, especially how good they are at Brazil over the last few years, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if Max wins it, but gee whiz, those Mercedes have just come of age the last couple of rounds. It's good to see, and
it's amazing what a decent set of tyres does for you.
And not only that though, we've only got one more round left after tonight, so that's it's saddening in a way.
No, the season's over. I just want it to finish now and move on to next year.
Yeah, true.
It was finished after Spa.
That's what I mean. Season's over. Max has already won it. Let's move on to next year now.
Yeah, and the way he's driving at the moment, like I was saying last week, while other guys were, you know, playing golf or doing commitments with the team, he was actually racing for Team Redline in the Spa, was it 24 hour on R-Factor, I think?
6 hours?
6 hour, 12 hours?
Yeah.
20, yeah, and just goes to show, like, it's like Shane Van Gisbergen in a way as well. They're always behind something, like behind a wheel of some sort, and I tell you what, it's hard to beat either of them right now.
Exactly. And you see in Sector 1, you have GTR, who looks pretty hard to beat at the moment right now as well.
Yeah, taking the chocolates tonight here at Autopolis, and that was a pretty big answer for the last round. I tell you what, stay tuned for the rest of the season, because it's like a new coming of age. It's like Brocky versus Terry all over again with these two.
It's gonna be like KFC's hot and spicy chicken.
Oh God. Alright, now you make me crave chicken. Let's
Gotta go get me some chicken wings.
Yeah, what are you dealing with, Lucas? Anyway, I reckon we might have to call it a night.
Alright. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you all next week. Bye guys.